foxatlanta.com and the free Fox Local app. Speaking of, stick around for your 1 p.m. stream or Portia.
Here we go at 1 o'clock. Thanks so much for joining us for Fox 5 News Live here at 1 o'clock. We're so glad you're joining us. We have a lot to get to this afternoon, but remember, we are live streaming on all of our social media platforms, including TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, along with our free Fox Local app. But I want to get to some breaking news that we just learned about within the last couple of minutes, and this is happening right now. This is Tiana Robinson. You may remember back on 404 Day, we know that she was killed in a shooting at Piedmont Park. Well, we just learned from APD that they will be holding a news conference at 3:30 this afternoon, and they are expecting to announce the increased reward for information. They're trying to track down several persons of interest, and obviously they're trying to make an arrest in this case. This happened on 404 Day. Again, they were at Piedmont Park near that 404 Day celebration when the gunfire happened. They'll be holding a news conference at 3:30 this afternoon. Our Deidre Dukes will be heading to that and bring us the very latest, and we'll be carrying it for you live here on Fox 5 News Live during the 3 o'clock hour. Another story we're following as we come back into our newsroom on this Thursday afternoon. I want to talk about a new security measure that's now at the world's busiest airport. Many holiday travelers will notice a big change, and it's these new concrete barriers right there off to the bottom part of your screen that now line the pickup and drop-off areas on both sides of the airport, so both the domestic and the international side. The safety improvements come as Atlanta prepares for a busy summer of travel, and of course, we're getting close, the FIFA World Cup. The barriers may look simple, but airport officials say they're designed to add another layer of protection outside the world's busiest airport. And the move comes months after a driver crashed into the entrance of Detroit's airport, hurting 6 people. Now in Atlanta, long rows of concrete barriers line terminal curbsides on both the north and south sides of the airport, including the international side. I'm also told over on the rideshare pickup area, they're over there as well. Airport officials say the barriers were installed for, quote, safety purposes as millions of travelers are expected to pass through Hartsfield-Jackson this summer. Let's listen to what one traveler had to say.
It makes me feel better that they put it up for safety reasons, so maybe it'll help prevent any type of accidents since I, travel often and stuff.
And travelers say while incidents like this one in Detroit may seem a rare, added security measures can help prevent further tragedies. And so we do know specifically with these concrete barriers, these are temporary. So the ultimate goal here is to be able to add a more permanent bollard-style safety barrier. So these are going to be here temporarily, and then eventually the infrastructure team over at the world's busiest airport, Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International, will add in these permanent barriers, and the goal obviously is safety. Another story we're following here in the Fox 5 newsroom has to do with the Atlanta Hawks. They're launching their first ever Take a Timeout for Mental Wellness initiative. It's in partnership with the Atlanta Public Schools. The district-wide effort encourages schools to intentionally pause from mental wellness activities using the Hawks at Home yoga and youth mental wellness platform. The online workbook features interactive virtual modules designed for young people ages 10 to 17, helping students learn healthy ways to manage stress, express emotions, and build confidence. And organizers say support from adults matters too, with parents, teachers, and caregivers encouraged to help reinforce those wellness habits both in and outside the classroom.
The module also includes a facilitator guide, and this guide is designed to help parents and teachers in processing these topics with their children in an approachable and meaningful way.
So the online guide here can be found at hawks.com/hawksathome. Remember, May is recognized as Mental Health Awareness Month. Certainly interesting there. And let's talk about APD one more time. We know that they are now collecting some jeans, and the goal is to help people in our community, supporting homeless LGBTQ plus youth and a local shelter for homeless women and children. The department's police recruit class number 300 is trying to collect 300 pairs of new or gently used jeans. They'll be donating to Atlanta's Lost and Found Youth nonprofit and Solomon's Temple Foundation. You can drop your donated jeans off at the precinct locations, which are on your screen right now. There's one on Donald Lee Hollowell Parkway, Maple Drive, Metropolitan Parkway, York Avenue, Ted Turner Drive, and Hosea Williams Drive. Obviously, the Atlanta Police Department also putting this information out on their social media platforms. So if you miss it here, you can be able to find the information on where you can drop it off. It looks like it's all of the zone precincts within the city of Atlanta. So you should be able to find those on your website, or on their website rather. And you have until May 27th to donate. So if you're looking for something to be able to help out people in our community, this looks like a great way to be able to do that. The time now, 1:05 on this Thursday afternoon. We want to check in about some of the stories we're working on. Fox 5 assignment manager Tanya Mendoza is standing by at her assignment desk with a look. And Tanya, this is a busy news afternoon, and several of our reporters actually just changed stories.
That's right. And actually, I have some other breaking news. I'll let you know right now. We have our helicopter going over to the Hall County / I believe Old Cornelia Highway, closer to Baldwin. But they are heading over to some sort of a train struck a lowboy tractor trailer on the tracks of Old Cornelia Highway at Yonah Homer Road. This Georgia State Patrol is investigating the crash. So the following railroad crossings are closed in Hall County: Main Street at 8th and Lula, Old Cornelia Highway at Moccasin Gap Road, or Old Cornelia Highway and Barrett Road, and Old Cornelia Highway at Yonah Homer Road. But guess what, Tyler? I just got permission to use some pictures from a viewer. So I'm going to turn my screen. You really can't see it that much, but right here, back here, you see a little. This is from Justin Woods. And I reached out to him on Facebook, and he said we have permission to use his photos. We need to courtesy him, but he was out there on the scene, and he got some amazing pictures. So that's what's breaking right now. Our chopper is going to get there at about 1:20, so you will be able to update our viewers as soon as he's over it. How about that for breaking news?
Hey, Tanya, quick question. I'm assuming you're reaching out and trying to figure out details about what exactly happened. I assume we don't know a cause at this point, but do we know if there are any injuries?
Right. It does not appear, hold on, let me see. Several emergency vehicles are on the scene. Old Cornelia Highway, north of Mud Creek Road, and northbound lane of Old Cornelia is blocked in that area. They don't have any reports of injuries. Again, GSP is going to take the lead on this investigation. So they can't really confirm who was driving the tractor trailer or how many train cars derailed, but they did say, this is from the Hall County Sheriff's Office, they did say they are also going to provide us with some pictures, and that will be going up on their Facebook page shortly. So lots of news out of Hall County.
Yeah, that's breaking right now. As soon as our chopper gets over at Sky Fox 5, we'll take that here during our 1 o'clock hour. But I'm sure the story everyone is still remembering is the last night's evening commute. We watched it play out live here in the Fox 5 newsroom. Tanya, what can you tell us about what we're learning?
Yeah, it was wild, Tyler. You were here, I was here, everybody was just, some people were about to head out the door to hit rush hour traffic going home, and guess what? Pop-up storm, flooding, flash flooding, downtown connector. We had people trapped in their cars. But, the good news is there was some good Samaritans out there that helped rescue people. And guess what? Our Larry Sproul, who was out covering the flooding yesterday, is actually going to talk to a man who helped rescue a woman who was on top of her car. He'll have that story a little later. You can remember in our coverage yesterday, Tyler, Larry was actually out at another scene where there was some flooding on North Avenue, I believe, where there was a Waymo stuck in the water as well.
Yeah,
so
he was first on scene for that too.
Yeah, so kudos to Larry Sproul and Aiden Brown for getting out there quickly and bringing the coverage to our viewers, because that's so important. People are driving home. They're not expecting, to get stuck on the roads or on the highway just for a pop-up storm. It's if we're expecting bad weather like a hurricane, tropical system moving through, then people prepare a little more. But just on a routine day going home, that was a big surprise for everyone, including us in the newsroom.
Yes.
Tyler?
Someone I know was driving at 4 o'clock in the afternoon right through the downtown connector from the airport back up to Midtown. I got the text message from them saying, if you're heading out, it's going to be wild. And he was describing just how crazy it was. And we were watching it all play out on our Georgia Power Cam and also our GDOT cams that are scattered throughout the area.
And that is such a valuable resource for everyone because, you know, we were able to watch it play out live and bring it to our viewers immediately. But also people at home can actually go to GDOT's website and pull up some cameras as well when they're traveling at any time. So that's a valuable tool that we have here in Georgia.
Let's switch gears a little bit. We know that Memorial Day weekend is approaching, and we had Eric Perry, or he's still up there at Lake Lanier. We were hearing from officials today. What were they talking about, and what should people know?
Yes, that's right. Memorial Day weekend is the unofficial start of summer. Many people will hit the roads and waterways. Lake Lanier, Lake Allatoona, Lake Oconee. People are going to be heading out there, Chattahoochee River, to enjoy the holiday weekend. Law enforcement agencies are coming together to make sure you are safe, and our reporter Eric Perry is at Lake Lanier. He attended a joint news conference this morning highlighting belts and jackets. The message at this news conference: wear a seatbelt and put on a life jacket. So let's listen in. I believe we have a soundbite cut from that press conference.
Everybody on this stage and across the state, all of the officers for all of these agencies have one thing that they have in common, that they believe in common, and that is that we can do our best to try to keep the public safe during this summer, whether they're traveling on the highways or whether they're traveling on the waterways. It is so important that we keep people safe, and everybody here has that same goal.
AAA is forecasting that 45 million Americans will travel domestically this Memorial Day weekend, which is a new record. 39.1 million of those Americans are expected to travel by car, which is 1.37 million Georgians that will travel more than 50 miles from their home. With an increased volume of traffic, and to help ensure that the safety of the motoring public, state troopers and officers will be out full force patrolling the interstates, state routes, and local streets around Georgia, not just to write tickets, but to save lives. On behalf of the Georgia Department of Public Safety, I want to remind everyone of one simple goal: get to your destination and back home safely.
All right, Tyler, so there you go. That was the sound from that press conference today. Eric Perry will be live. Actually, he's not going to be live, but he'll have those stories for us later, and he'll update you in other streaming hours. I do want to mention, you know, there's already been some incidents on Lake Lanier, including this weekend, where there was a boat explosion and several people were injured. So really important message out there.
Certainly. Besides the fun this Memorial Day weekend for being out on the water, or maybe if you're hitting the road going on vacation, we know that on Memorial Day there's going to be or this weekend there's going to be a nice remembrance in Sonoy, correct?
Yeah, okay, so I want to actually talk a little about this because Doug corrected me. This is not just for Memorial Day. In Sonoy, there is you see these banners up right now? These banners are up in Sonoy, where they have installed the banners down on Main Street of the town's veterans. They're highlighting veterans for that town. Can you hear me? And so basically the veterans living and dead, this is as part of the 250th celebration of America. The banners have faces of veterans and their names, including two couples. There is the oldest veteran in his 90s. He's a World War II vet. What a great idea, and a display of appreciation for veterans. Tyler?
Yeah, it's certainly great, and glad that we're able to spotlight that today on the Memorial Day weekend. We'll be looking forward to Doug's story on the news at 4, 5, and 6. And I believe he'll be joining Ariel Onstad at 2 o'clock to show us around that area, and we'll see him then. Tanya Mendoza at our assignment desk, thanks so much for joining us. And make sure you let us know as soon as Chopper gets up, and we'll bring it to everyone here on Fox 5 News Live.
Will do.
Tanya, thank you. And let's take a live look outside. You're looking at Lake Lanier right now. Speaking of what we were just talking about, you see a boat. Hopefully, if they have any kids on board, they're wearing a life jacket, or if they're concerned, they should be wearing one for safety reasons. But if you look just beyond near the islands, you can actually see what looks like a bridge between the islands. Not normally there. They can walk between them.
They sure can.
Unfortunately, though, not a good thing if you're trying to boat through that area. I'm joined by Greg Majeski, our Fox 5 Storm Team meteorologist, and you were telling me you're not just a meteorologist, you're clearly a mathematician. You knew exactly 5 feet down, lower than...
I looked it up.
You were looking at me like I was all crazy as I was saying that. Yeah, so Lanier is 5 feet down.
Right.
Normal.
Last year was full pool. It was a full lake last year during Memorial Day. This year it's down about a 5 1/3 foot down. Now, even though we're expecting rains this weekend, it takes a while to replenish a lake when it's down that much, especially a big lake like Lake Lanier. So again, let's go ahead and take a look at what we're saying right now on the radar. We're just starting to get the first signs that things are starting to bubble up. You know, when you talk about the summertime weather pattern, you're waiting for the atmosphere to kind of get primed up, and that's called the daytime heating. That's going to be the big factor there. So as I go ahead and zoom in here to the east of town where the warmest temperatures are, starting to get some of the showers and storms starting to flare up there near the Athens area there, and there's some over to the east of Snellville. And again, we're going to get these things to pop up for the rest of the afternoon. So hopefully some of you folks who missed out on some of the rain will get on some of it for today. And again, we're expecting the high rain chances to stick around here. The main reason is this old stationary front that's going to be kind of strung out across the area, and we're going to see little impulses, and we got a nice thick air mass in place. So whenever you get a buoyant air mass like this and you got a high precipitable water rate, you're going to get some good showers and thunderstorms, some good gully washers. It's just now a question of where exactly is all that going to fall across the area. So as we look at the Barron model here, it's showing these waves of showers and storms here just basically continuing through the weekend. So Friday and Saturday especially look pretty wet. Sunday may back off just a little bit, but another surge of moisture coming in here as we headed toward Memorial Day. So again, it looks like we're going to stay wet overall. So here are the rainfall estimates here for the next 5 days. So you notice that most of North Georgia is kind of in that 2 to 3 inch category. It's got, of course, it's painting everybody, but of course, trying to identify specifically where that is going to fall is always a little problematic. But I think it's a good representation of what we're going to see here is that we're going to get a lot of folks here getting in on the rain action here across the area. So North Georgia is definitely favored. So I would say north of Interstate 20 will have the better opportunities for rain as far as more widespread activity as we go in through Friday and Saturday especially, and then more scattered variety as we go into our next week. So again, the afternoon highs today, mostly in the 80s. The stuff should start to bubble up here as we go in for the afternoon. This forecast you see here for today, it's a cut and paste job basically for what you're going to see going into Saturday, going into Sunday, and going into Monday. It's going to continue that here straight through the week ahead. So we're going to continue that same forecast. So the forecast as we've seen here for today's, and then your day overnight lows in the 60s, every day is going to be a similar forecast. So just know that we're not talking about a rain event where we're talking about nonstop rain all the time. Just if you're going to plan on anything for the weekend, just plan accordingly that hey, between 2 o'clock and 8 o'clock, that's probably the best time we're going to see showers and thunderstorms around, and just plan accordingly for that. So I know a lot of folks are going to the lake. I know a lot of folks got their little picnics and stuff going on like that. So just need to just be awareful of it and just watch out for it.
So quick question. So I walked outside maybe about 30 minutes ago, and it was incredibly uncomfortable. It wasn't the nicest day. Is that what we're going to see every day through Memorial Day? Every
day it's going to be just like that. So when you get an air mass that's this humid and this buoyant, again, you're just waiting for the Coke can to get shooken up. That's my analogy for you there. So again, once you get the daytime heating, as we're starting to see those storms starting to flare up right now, that's what you'll see every day. And it'll change from day to day, because what happens is you get these thunderstorms that'll pop up. They leave little boundaries from the previous day, and then they'll play bumper cars with each other. So they'll shift around a little bit depending on where they want to go. So that's why you need to download the Fox Local app and the Fox Weather app and make sure you got that to track the weather.
And it said anywhere from 2 to 3 inches we're expecting over the next 5 days. It looked like, if I read, not not washouts, though, for the weekend.
No,
we're going to afternoon thunderstorms.
Afternoon thunderstorms you're going to have to look out for. Now, the good news is that the long-range trend looks like this continues going into June, where we continue with these afternoon showers and thunderstorms, which is what we need because the fall and the winter were so dry.
But it's Memorial Day weekend.
I got that. I know that. But again, we were so dry for so long. And there's farmers out there who need this kind of rain. I know the pumpkin patches up in North Georgia need the rain. This is what they need. This is good stuff. So this will help the lake levels come back up. But the drought won't be gone. Like in 2 weeks, the drought won't be gone. I mean, because we need like 20, 25 inches of rain over the next 30 to 60 days just to kind of put this thing to bed. But this is a good start.
Good start. Good for some people. For the people who want to do outdoor plans, it's going to be a little iffy in the afternoon.
Just got to have to plan accordingly. You know the drill. You've lived in Georgia long enough. You know what you got to do.
I grew up in South Florida, and we
there
dealt
you
with
go.
it all the time. The afternoon thunderstorms, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. You knew you were in for an unfortunate commute home. Greg, thanks so much for joining us. Right. We still have a lot more ahead here for Fox 5 News Live at 1 o'clock. We'll be right back after this. A 1:22 on this Thursday afternoon. Thanks so much for sticking with us for Fox 5 News Live at 1 o'clock. I'm so glad you are here. Atlanta United's training ground in Marietta is about to take on a global role ahead of the FIFA World Cup. We're just about 21 days away from the first match here in Atlanta. And Uzbekistan's national team will use the facility as its official base during the tournament, a major win for both the club and Atlanta's World Cup preparations. Joining us now is Dimitrios Efstafiou. I was making sure I'm getting that right. He is the Atlanta United Senior Vice President of Strategy who helped lead the club's training ground expansion, and that helped make this possible for Uzbekistan to come here. Dimitrios, thanks so much for being here this afternoon.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So let's talk about this. First off, for people who may not realize it, how significant is it for Atlanta United's facility to be selected as a World Cup base camp?
It's an honor. Listen, we are the only base camp within the state of Georgia, and we worked hard to build out our facility to ensure that it has an elite training capacity for any team coming in at the World Cup level. So we are really excited to welcome in Uzbekistan in June.
So you guys spent $25 million to expand this training ground. That's a lot of money. What were the biggest goals behind this project, and how quickly are you starting to see the benefits?
Yeah, so the main driver of the expansion, which essentially doubled the indoor space of our facility from what was about 30,000 to over 50,000 square feet. It was player development. And when I say player development, I mean our youth academy that coaches and trains players from about 12 years old all the way to high school age, about 18, and then our second team. So we needed to have a space that was dedicated to the development of homegrown players in and around Atlanta, not just a space for our professional first team players.
So Uzbekistan officially chose your guys' facility as base camp yesterday. That's when the news came out. Can you walk us through the kind of like the behind the scenes talks that made this possible?
Yeah, so the way it works is FIFA essentially creates like a brochure for all of the teams that qualified for the World Cup. And that brochure has all the various base camps that have been selected by FIFA. And they say to the teams, go visit the base camps, see which ones you like, and rank them in order of preference. So as you can imagine, with 8 matches taking place here in Atlanta, 5 of which are group stage matches, we had over a dozen federations come and visit our facility, not once, not twice, some 3 times, to get a sense of what was available here, how close it was to different amenities around the city. And so we spent the better part of the fall and early winter hosting a number of federations and showing them what Atlanta had to offer. And there were a number of federations that ranked us as their first choice. And we landed with Uzbekistan, which we are ecstatic about, because not only is this going to be their first World Cup appearance ever, but it's also they're ranked as one of the best teams coming out of Asia. So we are excited to have what could be a Cinderella story here, and we want to make sure that we are providing an elite training environment for Uzbekistan so they can go to their group stage matches being fully prepared and being able to put their best foot forward.
So obviously people hear the term base camp. What kind of thing will people see who maybe are living near your guys' training facility, or maybe people just throughout Metro Atlanta? What would they see?
Yeah. So what they will be seeing is a not just a group of about 30 players, but an entire kind of infrastructure with the team that involves team administrators, equipment managers, coaches, obviously, medical staff, and then all of the marketing and kind of front office staff of a business, in this case, a national soccer team, will be coming back and forth between Marietta, where our training center is, and then where the FIFA Hotel Center is, which is in Buckhead. So there's going to be a lot of movement of soccer people, both for the Uzbek national team, also FIFA staff. I also want to mention that, you know, it's a base camp for Uzbekistan only during the group stage of the tournament. There's a whole knockout round period of the tournament, of which Atlanta is hosting 3 matches, a round of 32, a round of 16, and the semifinals. And for those knockout rounds, we also will serve as what FIFA calls a venue-specific training site. So for a few days in advance of those knockout rounds, we will have a different team coming to train and prepare for those matches here, including the semifinal. We'll have a team here that will be for the entire week, almost 4 or 5 days, training in Marietta. So we're really excited. These are going to be the best teams literally in the world coming to Atlanta, and they're going to be in one of the best places to train.
Demetrios, as we run out of time here, quickly, how excited are you for what Atlanta is about to show the world about how great we are with our stadium for the World Cup, that first match here in just about 21 days?
I feel like I am a little kid again, cheering on, watching all of my favorite players when I was younger. Listen, this is the world's game and the biggest tournament of the world's game. So we are not only bringing the world to Atlanta, but we're showing everyone else in the world how Atlanta is truly the epicenter of soccer in the United States.
Demetrius, thank you so much for your time this afternoon and sharing the excitement and how the exciting news that you guys are able to be able to host Uzbekistan at your training facility in Marietta. I do appreciate your time, and obviously 8 matches for us here in Atlanta, June 15th to July 15th, including a semifinal. It's going to be amazing, and of course you can watch it right here on Fox Local and Fox 5, and we still have a lot more ahead. Demetrius, thanks so much.
Thank you. Peace.
And I believe we have a World Cup song we wanted to play for you. So I guess we do not have that. So that was, we were going to play for you part of the official song that Shakira and Nigerian artist Burna Boy put together. And that was just going to be, obviously, just one of the big reasons to be excited for the World Cup that's coming to town here. But I want to talk about something else. Good Day Atlanta's Natalie McCann and Atlanta World Cup host committee ambassador Kevin Egan has an all-access pass. Let's take a listen to the conversation on Good Day Atlanta this morning.
Got less than a month until the FIFA World Cup is here. 8-year, which is set to take place at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And the city has been named as the #1 sports business city in the country. They got that right, didn't they? Atlanta World Cup host committee ambassador Kevin Egan is here to tell us all about everything World Cup. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Natalie. And I'm buzzing. Shakira's finally arrived. The song is here. It means we can finally feel like the World Cup is arriving. And Atlanta should celebrate that.
We should. And we're what, like 20+ days?
Yeah, 23 days until kickoff, 27 days until we get our first game here in Atlanta, Georgia, which is Spain, taking on that tiny nation from West Africa called Cabo Verde, or Cape Verde, or as you may know them, 10 islands off the west coast of Africa. The ultimate, like I'm saying to you, it's like Mighty Ducks.
I know.
Yeah.
It's like David and Goliath, you said, right?
Yeah,
oh my gosh,
time.
I cannot believe it. Okay, so since we've been talking, I mean, do you feel like the buzz around the city has just grown significantly with those casual fans as well?
I think so. I think a lot of people are still uncertain as to what to expect.
Yeah.
Over 500,000 unique visitors to the city of Atlanta and the state of Georgia. An awful lot of people are coming in here and ready to party.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. I've said it before and I'll say it again, like the fun, the flavor, the flair, the music. You know, Shakira's song is a beautiful song, Die Die, that brings together inclusivity from people all over the world, you know, and Shakira is going to be doing the halftime show, which we can get into as well.
Yes, yeah. Okay, tell me about the halftime show, because Chris Martin from Coldplay kind of curated this as well.
Yeah, and it's to raise money for children's education around the world. They hope to raise $100 million. So there's $1 from every ticket purchased for the World Cup that's going toward that as well. It's Shakira's from Colombia in South America. Chris Martin is from Europe. He's from the UK. You got Burna Boy from Africa, Nigeria, as you mentioned. We got BTS, a major K-pop group that are involved in the halftime show. Madonna from the United States. So I feel like all parts of the world almost are represented and recognized. And this is the beautiful thing about our game of soccer, the global game, the beautiful game, as we call it, in that it brings everybody together. And there's nobody coming here for any malicious reasons. It is to party, it is to have fun, and celebrate our global game.
Yeah. Okay, and Shakira, I feel like she has become like the face of global soccer and the culture. I mean, do you feel like that?
Look, there's obviously phenomenal women's soccer players, but in terms of when you think soccer and you think of a woman around the world, a lot of people are now saying Shakira's become the undisputed queen of the game.
Yeah.
And more so, the crazy thing is that her ex-husband, Gerard Piqué, is a legend of the game from Barcelona and a World Cup champion with Spain. And yet Shakira may have outdone him here in terms of global popularity with the sport, with Waka Waka and some of her great songs over the years. But this Die Die song is phenomenal. My little daughter Maisie, she just turned 5. She's in the kitchen trying to ask Alexa to play it all the time, and she's dancing around the house to it. So that's what the World Cup will bring, and I'm just glad Shakira's involved again, both with the official song, but also with the halftime show in New York, New Jersey. It is going to be insane.
Happy belated birthday to Maisie.
Yeah.
5 years old. That's awesome. Okay, how are you feeling though? I mean, we were talking a little bit in the break. Now that we're getting so close, are you tired? Are you just so excited?
No,
I mean,
excited.
Thrilled.
Excited. There's too much going on around the city of Atlanta to get tired at a moment like this. I see all the work that's been done around Mercedes-Benz Stadium, or the Atlanta Stadium. As you can see, you've got the World Cup images right there. It's going to be known as Atlanta Atlanta Stadium as the games are played out here on Fox. The stadium is ready. Atlanta is ready. They're finishing up some of the final bits of work in and around the stadium, around Centennial Yards and downtown. You've got the FIFA Fan Fest that's going to be in downtown at Centennial Olympic Park, which is free. Go and register online for that one to get your free ticket, or you can purchase a VIP pass. You're going to have incredible entertainment downtown as well. So the tens of thousands of people that might be at the Fan Fest can then walk the 2 or 3 minutes directly to the Benz to go to a World Cup game. This is a city that I feel is set up for success, and I really feel that. And look, there's a few hurdles we've got to get over between now and 27 days from now downtown, but I love the fact that the tickets on the train are affordable. I love the fact that the food and the drinks inside the stadium is affordable, and now we've got so much built around the stadium. Our Irish exit's going to be open too.
I was about to say, how are we doing? We're going to be ready on time?
We're going to be open.
We can't
Get yourself a cold beer at the Irish exit before a game.
Okay, and so there are World Cup flavored chips or inspired chips.
This is it. Lay's is one of the big sponsors. Come on, get in here.
Come on,
Alex and Joanne. Let's see what we got here.
Okay. I say this box is fragrant. It smells tasty.
Do you know what I just found out before the show? You're from Argentina?
Yes.
You're fabulous. So here, let's try one of these out here.
Okay.
So we have Argentine-style steak chips, all right?
Okay.
So, Natalie, you're going in here with this one.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just sorry.
All right, take 10. Calm down. She's spilling them all over the place here. Alex, what do you think?
All right, let's see.
Let us know the verdict here. Joanne, the chips are massive. They're not doing us any favors here.
Right?
What do you think, Natalie? What's your mom's name again?
Selva.
Selva from Argentina.
Selva from Argentina. She would like those.
I dig it.
Yeah.
It actually tastes like steak.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to expect, but yeah, it definitely tastes.
I like the chimichurri element.
Yeah, I love the chimichurri.
Okay. These are. What do we give it?
Argentina. Might have to come back to that one at the end.
What do we give it out of 10?
I really like that one. That's a 10.
Yeah, that's a 10 for me.
10 out of 10?
Yes.
All right, Joanne, calm down. Where can we go from 10? All right. The French were World Cup champions in 2018. They made it to the final in 2022. Maybe the favourites to go and win it this year.
To win all of it?
Yeah. Kylian Mbappe, absolute superstar. They've got a stacked squad.
Oh no.
Let's see, French onion. Oh, and these are like the ruffle type.
Oh yeah. Well,
you're right. Where do you go from there?
Not my story.
I ruined
it.
I'm
That's
honest,
not yours?
Really? Not my story. No. I'm giving these a solid 4 out of 10.
Okay. Oh, really?
Bit bland. Yeah. They've got no character. They've got no character.
It's not a 10, but not as low as a 4 for me.
Okay.
No, it's a solid 4. What do you think, Alex?
I'd go like an 8. Like I would eat a bag of them.
You guys are way too
We're just
kind.
too nice.
Okay, here we go again.
It's not hard to impress
Brazil.
Americans.
Big news yesterday. I don't know if you've ever heard of this guy, but he's one of the most famous guys on the planet. Neymar, included in the Brazil squad. There was an awful lot of doubt around Neymar. This is Brazilian-style garlic sauce. Joanne, you're up first.
Alrighty.
So I was telling Joanne,
we're going to be reeking.
I didn't realize garlic was like tied to Brazil. That was news to me this morning.
Me too. Let's see.
Okay, I'm kind of pleasantly surprised a little bit. They're not as bad as.
Oh, I like those.
Yeah, I like those.
Yeah.
Joanne?
This is my solid 4.
Is it? Is it?
It just doesn't seem like to be much to it.
8, 9.
I'm gonna go with an 8.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
but I'm with you. The Argentine steak with the chimichurri. Go and get yourself. Argentina.
Let's go.
Hopefully they'll play here in Atlanta.
Okay, our soccer lingo, real quick.
Yes, soccer lingo.
Hairdresser.
The hair dryer treatment. If you hear this at all, what does the hair dryer treatment mean?
Really attractive soccer player with long hair.
It became famous with Sir Alex Ferguson, a legendary coach, and David Beckham, whom I'm sure we've all heard of.
Yes.
He gave David Beckham the hair dryer treatment, meaning if a coach is not happy at halftime, you can imagine like Bobby Knight at Indiana doing something like this, just in a player's face, screaming at them, and that's apparently what the hair dryer treatment is. So you often hear that from commentators, they could be in for the hair dryer treatment at the break. And we've one more, I believe, if we can throw this up, a hospital pass.
I know this one. This is something where you did something and you put your teammate in a bad spot. Right?
A terrible pass puts your teammate under pressure, and the next thing your teammate gets absolutely crunched by a tackle, and you're not doing them any favor, and your teammate's been taken off in an ambulance on the way to the hospital. So yeah, that's a hospital. Maybe not that extreme.
Okay.
Maybe not that extreme. I feel like we need to do a test at the end. Alex, I don't know how good you are at these soccer lingo, but Joanne is not even a dark horse. Joanne is like the teacher's
leader?
pet.
Yeah.
You're the teacher's pet. Yeah. yeah.
She's so smart. She's so smart.
No.
Kevin, it was great to see you.
Thanks for
all
having
the
me, Joyce.
chips.
I know.
You're making me hungry now.
I know. And don't forget, Fox 5 is your home for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. You can look for updates and features leading up to the big event. We'll be right back.
And again, 8 matches here in the city of Atlanta at Atlanta Stadium, which is also known as Mercedes-Benz Stadium. You can catch all of the action on Fox 5. Let's go to some breaking news right now that we're following out of Hall County. I can tell you we are now looking at Skyfox, which is flying high over the scene of a train derailment. According to the Hall County Sheriff's Office, this is right near Old Cornelia Highway at Yonah Homer Road. Just after 11:30 this morning, a Norfolk Southern train struck a tractor trailer on the tracks at Old Cornelia Highway. The good news here, no injuries have been reported, but you can see several of pieces of the train have derailed. It actually looks like there might be some damage to the tracks there as well. And several of the trains, one of the trains at least, toppled over. This is now affecting several areas of railroad crossings at Main Street and 8th and Lula, Old Cornelia Highway at Moccasin Gap Road, Old Cornelia Highway at Barrett Road, and also Old Cornelia Highway at Yonah Homer Road. In addition to Old Cornelia Highway, northbound has been closed to traffic at Mud Creek Road. Obviously an active scene right now. You can see it looks like some people walking around trying to assess some of the damage out there. But again, the good news here, no injuries reported. The Georgia State Patrol will be investigating this crash. And obviously it's going to take some time to get all of this cleaned up. This is breaking right now. We'll continue to stay on top of it, and we'll be right back. Memorial Day weekend officially kicks off after everyone gets off work tomorrow evening, and we're just 2 days away from the largest free festival in the nation, at least one of them, and it's Jazz Fest. It has been taking over Piedmont Park for nearly 50 years. Last year I went and it was a fantastic time. Fox 5's Paul Milliken spent the morning at the park, and Paul, crews are working hard to get things ready for the big weekend. Let's take a look.
Well, there is a terrific lineup for this year's Atlanta Jazz Festival. It is such a tradition here this time of year. And, of course, people gather in Piedmont Park to listen to the best of the best. And, boy, do we have the best of the best this year. A guy that knows Atlanta. He knows good music. He's got good music in his blood. The one and only Donnie is here. It's great to see you, my friend.
Thank you for being here.
I am thrilled to have you. I told you I'm such a fan. And I just want to start with this. I mean, you're an Atlanta guy, lived here a long time. You still live here. What is it about this city that inspires you as an artist?
I mean, I'm a Southerner.
Yeah.
I like the South, but I don't want to live anywhere else. And Atlanta has that city feel. So you get both of the best worlds.
Yeah, totally. This is your first time performing at the Atlanta Jazz Festival, which is so crazy to me. How excited are you?
It's a rebirth. I haven't been in front of that type of crowd in a long time.
Yeah.
And to have somebody want me to do the album, it's one album that I recorded, 25 years ago.
Yeah.
That's an honor for people to really look at it that way as far as respect they have for it.
Well, I told you, I mean, the album may be 25 years old, but it feels so relevant still today to listen to. And what I find so striking about the album, which is the colored section here, is just how much joy comes through in the music. Talk about where you were personally. I mean, was that a joyful time in your life? Is that why it comes through like that?
No, it was not.
Really?
It was very... it was a transition from, coming from the yin yang and the family, the collective, had, parted ways and everybody was doing their thing. It was a lonely time, but a transformation, definitely.
Yeah.
And you always pull from a pain.
What do you think you're going to feel like stepping on that stage at Atlanta Jazz Festival?
It's going to be the old feeling because I'll have friends from that time, background singers, musicians that I played with. So everybody's really excited for me, and they're happy for me, and that's and excited to do the show. We was going over the set list, and we'll have a few surprises here.
Okay. Oh, I was going to ask you. So, I mean, are you going to do pretty much the whole album?
The whole album.
You
the
are.
Cover section. Yes.
Okay, it's amazing. Is there a particular track on the album that you're excited to do live again? Like one, maybe your relationship with the song has changed a little bit.
I would say People Person.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's very much just about society and not giving up on each other and treating people like you want to be treated.
Right. I am so excited about that and cannot wait to see you on stage at Atlanta Jazz Fest. It's been a long time coming, Donnie. We need you, okay?
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
And I will be there and do my best.
Well, we know you will. Better than that. Great to see you, my friend. Again, the Atlanta Jazz Festival. Go see him.
Paul, thanks so much for that look inside. And obviously this is going to be a fun weekend, a fun Memorial Day weekend, an annual tradition at Piedmont Park, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. The best part is it's free, and I can tell you I had a fantastic time when I was there last year, just taking in the music. Hopefully the weather holds off enough so folks can have a fantastic time for that. And let's talk about a different story, and this has to do with the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Again, we're just a few days away now, just about 21 days away from the first match here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And today, not sure if you know this, is recognized as Global Accessibility Awareness Day. And so FIFA held an event at the stadium focused on accessibility, sensory inclusion, and fan experience initiatives being implemented for the World Cup. And our Chris Rosenthal was there with and has a preview now. Chris, what can people expect if they're heading out to the stadium for the World Cup?
Yeah, hey Tyler, if you've ever been to a football game or any sort of sporting event, there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of festivities, a lot of music. It can be a very loud and overwhelming event for people who may have issues with sensory issues, and that's why FIFA World Cup, FIFA has partnered with Hisense and with Culture City to develop some ways of being accommodating to people who may have sensory issues, whether you're autistic or have some other concerns. And they have some vehicle like this behind us, this mobile station here. It's a place where you can go inside and escape some of the noise, some of the loudness, and there's some calming elements in there, some screens and things like that. And there will also be a similar type room as well inside the stadium, free for anybody to show up. There will also be bags and supplies for people with certain things that they'll have headphones and strobe glasses and other items for people to really sort of escape those sensory issues. I got to talk with one of the spokespeople from Culture City. They're a nonprofit that helps work on this, set this up, and talks a little bit more about why this is so important. Let's take a listen.
Folks don't realize that 1 in 4 of us has a sensory need. So take a look around and every 4th person not being here. That's a big number of folks. And imagine that 4th person being you or your loved one, your partner, your child, your parent, who now is not able to come experience a match. And you go home and it was an exciting match and you're talking about it, you're showing them pictures, but it's not the same as them being here. It's not the same as them sitting beside you. And what we've really seen beyond COVID is uptakes in numbers, whether it's diagnosis or just overall anxiety.
Yeah, there was one family here. The father has a son who's autistic, and he really appreciates the accommodation here that's being made for people like his son and his family. On another note, we also got a sneak peek, a look inside, first look inside at that turf, at the pitch that the players will be playing on here. They had to put in a whole new pitch for this event that's coming for the World Cup. It's not the same one that you have when you come see an Atlanta United game. So we got to see a little bit of that. A lot goes into that. They had to put irrigation systems in. You may be wondering what kind of soil it is or what kind of grass it is. It's Kentucky blue and perennial rye. So anyways, we'll have a little bit more about that coming up at 2 and 3.
We are looking forward to that. Chris, thanks so much for a look at the sensory room and then also at the field, the pitch that they obviously just installed. They're watering right now, making sure it's ready for that first match at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Atlanta Stadium, as it will be known for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. June 15th, that first match. And then obviously we have 8 more total throughout the run of the tournament. And again, you can catch all the action on Fox 5. We still have a lot more ahead here next at 1 o'clock. Stay with us. We'll be back after this. Welcome back. The time now 1:52 on this Thursday afternoon. We're giving you a look high above downtown and midtown Atlanta. The rain is falling once again. Obviously, we don't need any more rain in this area after the flooding we saw yesterday. We'll have looks like a lightning flash there. We'll have another update with Fox 5 Storm Team meteorologist Greg Majeski coming up at 2 o'clock when he joins Ariel Onstott. But in the meantime, I want to talk about something else that's happening indoors this weekend, and that is MomoCon is back for its 21st year right here in Atlanta. It's a festival celebrating anime, animation, gaming, and much, much more. Our Eli Jordan is there in downtown Atlanta with the details. Hey, Eli.
Hey, Tyler. Yeah, this is really cool because, MomoCon is an Atlanta homegrown event. 21 years ago, as you said, Started off 2 Georgia Tech students, started MomoCon 1, 700 people. Here we are 26 years later, $43 million economic impact and expecting 60,000 people and over 1 million square feet here at the World Georgia Congress Center. And I'm in the gaming section, and it's going to be free gaming 24 hours a day this weekend. Pinballs, I love pinballs. Also, Renee Cooper.
Hi again.
How you doing, Renee?
I'm well.
You're with Media Relations here at MomoCon. Tell me how we're about to get opened up and things are going to start swinging at 2 o'clock.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've already started letting the line through to get just before the doors of the exhibit hall and the gaming floor. And the lines have been long, wrapped around the Georgia World Congress Center, registration everywhere. So right now we're in the arcade section. You can see there's cabinets on cabinets on cabinets. We have the pinball. We had, Centipede and Pac-Man, but as well as some Japanese import games that you will not see anywhere else in the country.
Here maybe, but this is huge. This is like 4 or 5 arcades in my mall that I grew up.
Yes.
More, but it's also free and going on for 24 hours. People, if you're here in attendance and got a badge, you can come down here and just game all day, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So your badge gets you access to the gaming floor. It's in the A hall of Georgia World Congress Center. So we have a slight change from previous years, but all of this in the A hall that we are MomoCon's taking on is for gaming. And so not just these arcade cabinets that you see here, but we also have tabletop. We have tournaments over to our left. Check out these giant stages.
Gaming on YouTube is a big deal now.
Absolutely. Esports is huge, and we make sure, see all the chairs we have lined up for the people who are here just to witness these gamers that are going to be doing some of the top competitive esports games in the world right now. So
yeah,
we're
got the
super
chair
excited.
all up there. It's all looking all dramatic and mystical and all that stuff.
So this will be hard to record later. It's going to be so loud.
It's going to be crazy. And so this seems like it's just growing and growing. We're going to have to wrap it up pretty quick, but I mean, 60,000 people.
Yes, 65,000 people is anticipated. That's attendees to come through. So we're excited for what it is for Atlanta. We're excited to be in the 2 biggest halls of Georgia World Congress Center. People can still get their passes at momocon.com for all 4 days, or you can get 1-day tickets if you just want to see what it's like for those particular days of the weekend.
Awesome. Renee Cooper, thank you so much. And this is it. I mean, getting ready for the gaming, genius is there, and then you can come over here and game for 24 hours, Tyler. I'm going to kick it back to you. Come on down to MomoCon. Have some fun. It'll be cool.
2 and 3 o'clock. Eli, thanks for joining us here for Fox 5 News Live at 1 o'clock. And thank you for joining us for this hour here on Fox Local and, of course, all of our streaming platforms. We are preparing our news at 2 right now. Ariel Onstadt is doing that. She's just off to my side over here, and she'll be joining you in just a matter of minutes. I'm Tyler Fingert. We'll be right back after this.
Welcome in, everyone. I'm Ariel Onstadt. Thanks so much for being here on your Thursday afternoon. We've got a lot of news to get to, as we always do. And I want to let you know, as you can see here by the banner I've put at the bottom of your screen, we are awaiting a news conference later this afternoon where Atlanta police are expected to update in a deadly shooting on 404 Day back at Piedmont Park. They are expected to increase the Crime Stoppers reward. By how much, we don't know. We're expected to learn those details during a news conference at 3:30 this afternoon. But again, that is going to focus on that deadly incident that happened on 404 Day at the park. It seems like officers and maybe the police chief will also be giving an update as to some of the details regarding that shooting. So we will bring that to you live as we get that information. In the meantime, I want to talk to you guys about yesterday's insane weather and where we stand today, because more storms are expected through this Memorial Day weekend. And you're taking a look at video from the downtown connector where flash floods stranded multiple drivers during peak rush hour. So this was incredible to watch. The Georgia Department of Transportation captured this dramatic scene near Baker Street, where one motorist had to seek refuge on top of a vehicle. Clogged storm drains filled with debris from weeks of dry weather prevented a lot of that heavy rainfall from draining off the interstate. We saw officers, as you can see here, working to unclog those drains, which was pretty wild to watch. It's interesting to note when we're thinking about why did our interstate get so clogged with water. There was a lot of debris that had accumulated in those drains. We've had weeks of dry weather, not a lot of rainfall. And so when we got so much water so quickly, it really had nowhere to go. Radar estimates show that in some parts of downtown and midtown, about 3 inches of rain fell in about an hour. So just incredible to see. Now, when we saw the water rise so fast with these flash floods and we saw a driver get stranded on the top of the vehicle, we know that there was a historic rescue, I should say, from a woman who was able to capture video along along with her husband. Her husband's a veteran, and her name is Mary Braithwaite, and she captured this video showing the rescue of that woman who was stranded on top of her white vehicle. Take a watch.
I got it. Hey, you need some help? Damn. That's crazy.
Sweetheart! You wanna go help her, baby?
I mean, what you want me to do? Get out, walk across the street and go and put it on my back?
Yep. You're a veteran.
Yeah, I'm a veteran.
Go help her. You stuck?
Yeah, right.
Go help her.
Sweetie!
She might got kids in the car.
You need some help?
Go help her, baby.
Okay. I don't know, baby. That don't make sense, baby.
All you gotta do is walk her over here. It's not that deep. She probably don't know how to swim or something. Just walk her over here. I'll get you some more shoes. You got some in your pocket?
To watch. You heard Mary Braithwaite, or China is her nickname, saying, you a veteran, go help her, and it seems like that's just what they did. So kudos to Strangers for Kindness in incredible moments. But we are expecting that more flooding could be possible after Wednesday's storms, given that we are expecting a lot of rain here over the weekend. And if you're able to catch a break in the rain over the weekend, maybe head out to some of our lakes here around North Georgia, Lake Lanier. Memorial Day safety is top of mind. Officials are really stressing that you need to make sure you have what you need and are keeping things forefront for this holiday weekend. So let's get out to our Eric Perry, who's standing by at Lake Lanier. Eric, it's good to see you. I'm glad you're not getting rained on. What's the message this Memorial Day weekend?
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not either. I thought at one point it would start to rain, but the message is if you're going to go out like the boater behind me here, it's really to be safe. It was called a belt and vest jackets event today. So whether you're on the roadways or the waterways, they want to make sure you are safe. Law enforcement agencies coming together across the state here, emphasizing that. Putting it simply, if you're in the car, click the seat belt. If you're on the water, click that life jacket. Those are life-saving tools and measures. Of course, they also don't want anyone intoxicated behind the wheel. We've already seen boating incidents so far. The most recent one, I'm told, a couple of weeks ago in Savannah, there have been drownings and fatalities. Of course, they don't want that to increase, but they will have an increased presence out there on the waterways. Take a listen.
Unfortunately, been a busy year already with drownings and boating fatalities on Georgia's waterways. What we encourage people to do, number one, don't get on the waterways and get impaired and start drinking and become an unsafe operator. Our folks are going to be on the water in full force. We're going to be looking for impaired drivers, and we fully intend to put those people in jail when we find them.
Talk about the roadways as well. 15 people died in traffic crashes. This was just within a 78-hour of Memorial Day weekend last year. Also 122 boating accidents, 66 people drowned, 10 people dead, and another 92. That was for the waterway incidents in the year as a total. But of course, we've already seen 14 people drown, unfortunately, so far this week and this year, and they don't want that number to continue to go up. What we're working on for a little bit later is we were able to go out with those patrol agents on the water there. There's another danger to be aware of, and that's the shallow waters that we're starting to see. The lack of rain. I know we saw a deluge yesterday, but really didn't put a dent here at Lake Lanier when it came to the drought levels. So that's something that boaters need to be aware of. There's a lot of shallow areas there, a lot of trees and debris. So you have to be very careful when you're going out this weekend. Ariel?
Eric, thanks so much for the update. Good reminders. I think so often we're ready to have a good time and we want to get out to it, but ultimately making sure that we're prepared and have everything we need to stay safe is really important. So, Eric, I'll let you get back to it, and we'll see you again later this evening. As we continue, you guys, I want to keep you updated on some stories we're following here in the Fox 5 Atlanta newsroom. Check this out. In Douglasville, multiple new sex crime charges have been filed against a teacher. You're taking a look at 25-year-old Maris Nichols, and she's now facing those additional charges after investigators identified 6 alleged victims connected to the case. These are according to court documents released just today. And the new arrest warrants revealed new allegations against her. She was a former teacher at Alexander High School there in Douglasville, and she had already been accused of having sex with a student. So with these newly released warrants, they are now alleging the misconduct extended far beyond just one student. Nichols was a former biology teacher and football staff member. She's now charged with child molestation, grooming of a minor for sexual offenses, improper sexual contact by an employee, among other charges. Authorities previously accused her of having sex twice with one student, once inside a closet between classrooms at the school, and another time inside of a Hummer off campus in Douglasville. Now, investigators say that other students may be involved. So, coming up here at 3 o'clock, our Kevin Stewart is going to join us live to talk further about this. But let's continue with some other headlines we're following. Just heartbreaking. This unfolded in Decatur. A woman was stabbed in the back while eating her meal. Can you imagine if this were you? She was wounded when this random knife attack unfolded Tuesday afternoon at First Watch there in Decatur. DeKalb police arrested 22-year-old Walter Scrutchings of Lithonia and charged him with aggravated assault. Now, the victim was rushed to a local hospital. She is expected to recover, so that is some good news. But we're not really sure what the motive was for this attack. Police haven't released that just yet. It's unclear if this is entirely random, but it was very disturbing for people sitting and witnessing this. And, of course, for the poor woman who had to endure being randomly stabbed in the back while eating her meal. And another update to give you guys, we're getting more information about a woman who was killed in an incident that was not random, and unfortunately is a story we tell here all too often. One woman was killed by her ex-boyfriend after her family says she suffered repeated abuse. This unfolded in DeKalb County, and a family is speaking out about domestic violence after their loved one was shot and killed on Martin's Crossing Road here in DeKalb. Police arrested her ex-boyfriend after a brief search ended at a home on Summit Lake Drive. Now, police say that 44-year-old Miranda Henderson, you're taking a look at her photo here, was pulling into her Stone Mountain neighborhood on Martin's Crossing when 46-year-old Jaworski Rainey pulled up next to her. They say Rainey got out of his vehicle and shot her, according to investigators, and she tried to run away but crashed her car and ultimately died from her injuries. Officials or police later tracked Rainey to a home on Summit Lake Drive and took him into custody and charged him with murder. But now Henderson's family is telling us, as Fox 5, that she feared her ex-boyfriend after their breakup and documented a pattern of continued harassment. One of her sisters says that She suffered unwanted visits, stalking, and that her ex-boyfriend busted out every window of her home. So this is something we're going to continue to follow. Keep in mind that Henderson's sister says, according to Henderson's sister, that she filed multiple reports with law enforcement but could not obtain a protective order, and said that officials told Henderson she lacked evidence because the pair did not live together, marry, or share children. So the victim's family is raising awareness in this heartbreaking situation, and we'll continue to keep you updated as this case moves forward. But in the meantime, as we continue here, we talked a little bit about what to expect on Lake Lanier for Memorial Day and what officials are going to be looking out at. Some of our other communities are preparing for Memorial Day festivities and to honor fallen men and women who've served our country. Our Doug Evans joins us live from Sonoya, where they are preparing for Memorial Day. And Doug, it is great to see you. Glad you're not caught in any rain. What's unfolding there today?
Hi, Ariel. I got a question for you as we begin this segment. Have you ever been to Sonoya in Coweta County?
Doug, I have not had the pleasure. I have to admit, though, it's on my list because it's so charming, and I always see it in your live shots, and it looks so picturesque.
Oh, come on. Let's take a look right now.
Good.
Okay? We're talking about these banners that are up and down Main Street in this lovely little town in Coweta County, made famous by The Walking Dead. This was home base for that production for its more than decade of, was it a decade? I can't remember. But a long time, the shooting in this town. And they are honoring their veterans. Hold up there, pal. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. With these banners. Take a look. All up and down Main Street here. Now, this was also Main Street for Woodbury, which was the fictional town in The Walking Dead. And much of one particular season was shot here for months on this little Main Street. And it's just lovely. Restaurants, they have 2 different breweries in town as well. Lots of restaurants and things like that. So the story that we're telling you about today is these banners, and they are celebrating their veterans. Not just for Memorial Day, because some of these veterans are still very much alive. They're just residents of Sonoya, and I'm walking down here, and we'll talk about Sonoya as we do that. So this is, again, let me just give you kind of a overview. That building there was famously where some of the main characters met their demise in The Walking Dead. There's the water tower, also featured so prominently in The Walking Dead. But you know, more than 20 movies were shot in this town over the years, not just The Walking Dead. And so this is very much a little town that is tied so much to the movie industry. So anyway, I talked with some folks about this today, and we're going to let you hear from them why they felt it important. You know, little towns, at the center of their core value in so many of our Georgia little towns is patriotism, and that's very much true here in Sonoya. So take a listen to what they had to say.
Yes, so everybody that you see on a pole is somebody who is from Sonoya.
And tell me about it.
So like the couple we have over here, Sean and Carly, they met when they were both young, and they both have banners up. They were both Air Force. We have one of town's oldest living veterans, who will be 97 next month, is on one of them. Normally it's just the family. We'll get together and they'll decide they want to do it. So they buy the banner, we put it up. It's up from now till Veterans Day in November. And then after that, we'll take them down and we'll have a ceremony where we present them with the banner.
Okay, so you're looking at Emmett Baker, turns 97 there, right in the center of your screen. Emmett Baker, 97 next month, a World War II veteran, still lives here in Sonoya. This was his hometown. Walking back up Main Street, this area of Main Street in particular was featured so prominently in The Walking Dead. Behind me, actually that way, is what's called the Gin property. In real life, it was the Alexandria set. And I'm going to scoot across the street here. Thank you. Wouldn't do that in Atlanta, would you?
Probably not.
So no, it's all right. So this is Nick and Norman's, Greg Nicotera, Norman Reedus from The Walking Dead. This is their restaurant in town. Pretty good burger there if you're ever interested. There's one of the breweries that they have there. So it's just, Memorial Day kicks off kind of a summer of patriotism here in Sonoma, they say. They're going to have 2 days of Memorial Day things going on. They're just breaking ground today on a veterans memorial down at their Merrimack Lake here. And they're breaking ground on that today.
Yeah.
Another thing, you talk about the safety of a little town, Ariel. I notice as I'm walking back up here that I left my backpack with all my electronic equipment up here on a bench. Am I worried about it? I'm not worried about it because this is downtown Sonoya and it's still there as I expect that it would be. So that's Sonoya. A quick little tour for you this afternoon, Ariel.
I appreciate that, Doug. What a nice way to spend the 2 o'clock hour here on our Thursday. I love that the sun has begun to peek out there where you're at. I know it's probably a little hot and humid, but no rain just yet, so that's excellent. And Doug, as you sit back on that bench, I have to say, wonderful to see all of those service people sitting with their banners. I saw the different servicemen you were able to introduce us to. If people are coming downtown, they'll get to see those banners and enjoy them too. So really great.
Yeah, there's one other thing I wanted to mention real quickly before you let me go.
Sure.
They're having the camp this weekend in Peachtree City. The camp is a really famous Walking Dead convention for fans, and they'll have some of the people from the shows and stuff. That's in Peachtree City. It's like 7 miles from here. Okay. But already the fans are here in town taking their pictures and stuff with the plaque that's here and seeing all the sights. So it's not only a great town to have a beer or dinner or something, but if you're a Walking Dead fan, it's a great time to see, join all the people that are flocking here. Somebody from Wales was here earlier this morning, coming all the way from the UK to be here this weekend. So it's still very much a thing here.
Yeah, wonderful what a fandom brings together, Doug. Thanks so much for the tour, introducing us to this. I know we'll see you again later this evening with more from downtown Sonoya. So Doug Evans, thank you so much for joining us live. As we continue here at 2 o'clock, guys, it is about that time to get a check of some of the stories we're following nationally here. And I want to let you know to start off with, we're taking a look at the funding fight that's unfolding on Capitol Hill. Ultimately, Republican lawmakers are not fully agreeing about what should be in a funding package for Customs and Border Patrol and ICE within the Department of Homeland Security. The Senate floor opened today with lawmakers starting a lengthy process they hope is going to lead to the passage of a bill that would fund ICE and Border Patrol. But there's a lot of disagreement about what should be in that bill exactly. A growing number of Republicans are opposing funding for the president's White House ballroom. And that could create problems in the House where most Republicans are still pushing to include that funding. It's a big test of the president's legislative muscle after a string of primary victories for candidates that he endorsed. But his political success has not necessarily translated to policy wins. Congress still has not passed the Save America Act, nor have they nuked the filibuster. Republicans on Capitol Hill are asking tough questions about this $1.8 billion anti-weaponization fund, which we're going to talk about in just a second. Democrats are hoping the division is going to give them momentum that they can ride through the midterms. The president says he wants the funding bill on his desk by June 1st, but the full text is not even ready yet. So lawmakers are likely going to miss that deadline. But speaking of that weaponization fund, that is what the White House is calling it. Democrats, however, are calling it a slush fund for the president's friends and supporters. Now, either way, it's a lot of money and it's facing new legal challenges. The Justice Department announced that the Trump administration would be dropping its lawsuit against the IRS. And as part of that settlement agreement with the IRS, the Trump administration now wants to establish the anti-weaponization fund, which would receive nearly $1.8 billion from that settlement. The IRS, or rather the fund, is going to give payouts and issue formal apologies to those who go after settlements because they feel they were wronged by the government. Now, President Trump's fund is facing major pushback from Democrats, and 2 police officers who defended the Capitol on January 6 are suing to block its creation. The lawsuit states that no one claiming to be a victim of politics should be compensated, including the January 6 rioters. But according to the Department of Justice, the money is meant to pay back those who, quote, suffered lawfare. And in fact, Vice President Vance said even Democrats can file a claim. President Trump, who was indicted 4 times and reportedly paid more than $100 million in legal fees during the Biden administration, says that this is sorely needed. We were able to get a better understanding of this fund in the sense of whether or not the president was going to receive any money from it. And Vice President Vance says that he will not receive money. However, the Justice Department has not elaborated on who will be eligible to receive payouts from the fund. And like I mentioned, those involved in the January 6 riots have some pending lawsuits. So this is something we're going to follow closely, continue to keep you updated on. I wanted to let you hear from Connecticut Senator Chris Murphy, who's a Democrat, and Vice President Vance on this matter. But I'm taking a look at our timing, and we are going to get to weather here coming up next. So coming up at 3 o'clock, I'll let you listen to Vice President Vance and Connecticut Senator Chris Murphy as they traded some opposing opinions on what this anti-weaponization fund could ultimately mean and what it might look like. So we're going to talk about that coming up. Welcome back in, everyone. I'm Ariel Onstad here with meteorologist Greg Majeski. Greg, it is great to have you. I have to shout out all of our viewers here on TikTok, YouTube, chatting along. Burrell, you were saying he's so calm and collected, talking about Doug in downtown Sonoya with his tour walking around. Pretty great to see. And I didn't see rain just yet in downtown Sonoya, kind of to the south of us, Greg, which I understand we're due for a lot more rain this weekend.
Yeah, we had a nice little downpour came through the studio. I mean, Fox 5 Studios.
I saw that.
I heard it.
Yeah.
Just quick hit and run. But
cried and left.
It's the start, folks. And I'll tell you, every indication is that we're going to be having a wet weather pattern, not only for the weekend. Looks like this is going to extend right through the end of the month and into early June. So it looks like above normal precipitation. I know a lot of folks on social media, God knows I had a lot of y'all out there yesterday, because when they got rain, I didn't get a drop in my backyard. And everybody's just like, you know, you busted the forecast because I didn't get rain in my backyard. But rain somewhere else.
Well, it is funny because
it's Georgia. Come on.
It's Georgia. We're getting into that summer rainy pattern.
Oh yeah, a little
That's
early.
What happens.
It's a little early, but this is good news because if this settles in, if this settles in, I think we're going to hit the drop pretty good. So again, we got some scattered storms out there right now. These have kind of flared up in just in the last hour, really. Kind of, you can zoom in here to the metro area again. You can see some of that stuff that just is on the west side perimeter right now, or east side perimeter, going up toward Doraville and heading over toward Decatur. So we're getting some good thunderstorms, getting some there up into Cobb County too, going into southern portions of Bartow County. So again, getting some showers and storms around. And again, this is going to be the pattern you're going to see all weekend long, folks. So plan accordingly. Just know that if you're planning on having a barbecue at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, odds are you're probably going to see some scattered showers and storms in your backyard. So got a few more up here up to the northeast, up near Commerce. Pretty good storm there to the south of Homer. So again, these storms can be intense. They have high water moisture content, so they can dump a lot of rain in a short amount of time. And we're really hoping we get a lot of this. Now, what we're seeing is a stationary boundary right here. We're getting a nice southerly flow. We got a nice tropical air mass, which means it's very light, very buoyant. So you get some daytime heating. It's like lighting a firecracker. You shake up a Coke bottle, you're gonna explode some showers and storms, and we're gonna see that pretty much all weekend. We're seeing waves of this. It looks like Friday and Saturday might be the weather of the days, the way it's kind of trending here on the model data. And maybe a little more scattered going into Sunday and Monday, but it's going to be around here all weekend, folks. So, and one improvement here, just thing that just came in here on the rainfall outlook is the totals have actually gone up here across northeast Georgia. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in here a little bit closer. And you kind of see there toward Blairsville, Toccoa, heading back over to Blue Ridge and stuff. You see a lot of that orange in there. That's getting in the 4 to 5 inch territory with the rains over the next 5 days. Now, a lot of that yellow area, that's kind of the 2 to 3 inch range, but a lot of North Georgia, basically north of Interstate 20. Looks like that's kind of the dividing line where the heaviest rains are expected to fall here through the weekend. Now, hopefully we'll get more of Georgia in on this action as the whole state's still kind of fighting the drought conditions. So, forecast for tonight. All right, this is what I want you folks to understand. You see these lows? This is pretty much what you're going to see every day for the next 5 days. Okay, I don't even need to show you a 7-day. I can just show you these 2 days right here because that's what you're going to see. There's not going to be much change here from day to day. So you look at that forecast, that's your morning lows, and then your daytime highs here, pretty much going to be like this. We'll have some 70s up in the mountains, 80s everywhere else, and you'll look for that scattered shower and thunderstorm threat daily running high. So again, we're going to expect those rain chances, running about 80-90% here into the weekend and backing off a little bit as we head toward the middle of next week. But again, the drought index came out today. It's still not really showing much improvement there, but again, we've been showing Lake Lanier live shots today.
Right.
Lake's down about 5 feet, so this will help. Okay, drought's not over, but this is a start. So hopefully we'll start chipping away at it, and we'll make things here better for everybody, including the farmers.
Awesome. Yeah, amen. Amen, Greg. Well, thanks so much. I do appreciate you. Guys, as we continue here, let's talk about hurricane season briefly. So Greg, I know you got to get to it, but I'm going to quickly say, and if you want to chime in, feel free, but just I know that we are expecting a below average or below normal season because of El Nino.
Right.
And for this 2026 season, 8 to 14 named storms they're expecting, 3 to 6 hurricanes, and 1 to 3 major hurricanes, which would be Category 3 or higher.
Correct. Okay. And the reasons for that is when you have an El Nino season, you have very strong winds that typically blow across the tropics. And you got to think of a hurricane as one big giant heat engine. It brings in a lot of the heat at the surface. A lot of energy. And it funnels it through the center. Now, if the chimney's blocked up because of those high winds, it can't develop. So the thunderstorms can't sit over the center of circulation at the surface, but the high winds are the big no-no. And if we get a strong El Nino as advertised, there'll be a tremendous amount of wind shear out in the tropics. Now, that's not to say that we won't get a storm. Let's keep in mind, 1993, Hurricane Andrew, that was an El Nino year, a very slow year, but that was a devastating hurricane for South Florida. So it only takes that one to make a big difference.
Greg, thank you, as always. We'll see you again here upcoming at 3. All right, guys, let's continue with I'd like to talk about some health stories right now because Ebola is something that world health leaders continue to monitor. The U.S. government especially now monitoring this outbreak in eastern Congo. And they're setting up new travel safety protocols for passengers arriving from this part of Africa. The latest move is happening because a flight carrying someone from the Democratic Republic of Congo had to caused a diversion on a flight from Detroit to Canada. The wife, meanwhile, and 4 children of that American doctor infected with Ebola arrived in Germany via a special medical flight. They are in an isolation ward and so far have tested negative. The CDC says the man, who was working in the eastern part of the Democratic Republic of Congo, is in stable condition. But this outbreak has been labeled an international public health emergency. The World Health Organization has allocated an additional nearly $3.5 million from its contingency fund to help with this crisis. It's likely that a vaccine for this strain of the virus won't be ready for another few months, but airports here across the United States are ramping up safety protocols as they try to keep the virus from entering the United States. There was a flight that was bound for Detroit, and it ended up being diverted to Canada after a person from the Democratic Republic of Congo boarded that flight in error. Now, how they were able to get on that flight in error, not sure. But to further protect Americans, the Department of Homeland Security is now mandating all flights who are carrying people who have been to the Democratic Republic of Congo, Uganda, or South Sudan stop in Washington, D.C. for enhanced screening before they move on to other airports. So that is something that they are doing to try to keep people safe. Really quickly, want to let you know that Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has fired 2 leaders of a health group that determine when insurance must provide free preventative health screenings. According to letters dated May 11th, RFK Jr. notified doctors John Wong and Issa Davis, who headed the U.S. Preventative Services Task Force, that he was ending their terms immediately before their multi-year appointments expired. Now, this leaves up some things to hang in the balance, like updates on cervical cancer screenings and other topics. The panel updates guidelines with letter grades, and the 2 doctors that were on that panel have now been let go. Under the Affordable Care Act, most insurance plans must cover preventative services given an A or B grade without a copay. The letters obtained do not specify when Kennedy issued the firings. The Health and Human Services Secretary has previously told lawmakers he wants to reform the panel, saying it lacked transparency, but some health advocates are concerned that he plans to replace doctors with less experienced politically allied appointees. The task force does have staggered terms, allowing secretaries to regularly appoint new members without upending leadership. So this is something we'll continue to follow. But here coming up, you guys, I want to check in here locally on a story we're following with our runoff for the Fulton County Commissioner Chair position. We're talking with our Angelique Proctor about this straight ahead. Welcome back in, everyone. I'm Ariel Onstadt. Thanks so much for being here with us at 2 o'clock. Let's talk about our runoff that is set to happen for the race for Fulton County Commissioner Chairman. Now, our Angelique Proctor joins us live. Angelique, it's great to see you. I understand Mo Ivory and current chair Rob Pitts are headed to this runoff.
That's right. Good afternoon to you, Ariel. This is a huge race. As you know, Fulton County is the most populous county in the entire state of Georgia. A lot of people watching this race, trying to decide, as you said, between incumbent Rob Pitts or Mo Ivory, former Fulton County Commissioner Mo Ivory. Now, of course, Rob Pitts has been an elected official, if you can believe this, in the Atlanta area for 49 years. First as a member of the Atlanta City Council in 1977, and most recently, as we see him on our local news, chair of the Fulton County Commission. But on Tuesday night, it was newcomer Mo Ivory, who is also an attorney, that received the most votes, surprising quite a few people. Now, Georgia Gang panelist Theron Johnson says most people did expect a runoff, but they did not expect Ivory, a Spelman College graduate, to be the top vote getter.
As I predicted, there was going to be a runoff for the race for Fulton County Chair. What we did not predict was that Mo Ivory was going to be the top vote getter in response to the huge turnout that we've seen around the state of Georgia, but particularly in Fulton County, of black women turning out to vote. I think that Marvin Arrington Jr. had a good showing. The question now is that can Rob Pitts or Mo Ivory get the endorsement of Marvin Arrington Jr.? Two things are very pivotal right now. Number one, if you're Mo Ivory and Rob Pitts, you got to immediately contact your donors and tell them that you need more money and that the money that they gave, they need to give more, because I think some of the money that they probably contributed to the campaign cannot be used in the runoff. And then the second thing you got to do, you have to secure the endorsement of Marvin Arrington Jr., because not all of those voters will go with one particular candidate, but when you have someone that got the number of votes that he received, if he decided to endorse someone in this race, that will put them in a very, very good position going into a June 16th runoff.
And, of course, Marvin Arrington Jr. finishing third, got 25% of the vote. I did talk with him this afternoon, and he tells me that he has not yet made a decision, but that is certainly going to be a very coveted endorsement. And, of course, the big challenge is to get voters back out during a runoff. This is a runoff on June the 16th. Once schools have closed, as people are going on vacation, how do you get them back interested in politics to go back to the polls in just 3 weeks? It's going to be a huge challenge. Theron tells me that the person who can actually get their voters out, the ones who have the most loyal base that will return to the polls, will be the person who will emerge victorious. Ariel?
Angelique, definitely something to keep our eyes on. Didn't fully understand the reasoning as to why Mo Ivory made it as far as she did. And with this, it's like you can suspect, but Theron and your reporting has confirmed, I think, what a lot of people suspected when they were casting their votes and talking to other people, which is just the mobilization of different groups who may not have always been invested now coming up to this election and making their voices heard. So going to be interesting to see how things play out on June 16th.
Yes, it will be. And Mo Ivory seems to think that a lot of people in Fulton County are very much interested in change. She points to the fact that if you combine the percentage that she got and what Marvin Arrington Jr. got, about 60% of the people want someone new. So we'll just have to wait and see. Of course, Rob Pitts is a very seasoned politician, and he has pulled out a lot of victories over the years. So we will be watching this one.
Angelique, thanks for keeping us updated. No doubt you'll be there every step of the way. So we'll see you again later this evening. Angelique, thanks so much. As we continue here at 2 o'clock, we're going to take you out to Clayton County, where county leaders have been facing significant behavioral health problems and issues with overdoses. So now a new treatment facility, an intensive treatment facility, is opening in Jonesboro. And our Maria Guzman joins us live to discuss this. Maria, it is great to see you. Your shot is a little grainy. I understand you're indoors, so service may not be the best, but I believe we can hear you, so I'll let you take it away.
Hi, Ariel. Yes, and good afternoon. We're here at Samba Recovery in Clayton County, and this is an inpatient detox center. So how does that look like? For example, if I have a loved one who is in active addiction and they need somewhere to go, they're able to come here. They'll stay here for a few weeks and get the care and the help they need. So here we have Andy Williams with Samba Recovery. Andy, just thank you so much for chatting with us today.
Absolutely, our pleasure.
So let's go ahead and step into room 10. If you can just walk us through what patients here are going to experience.
Yeah, absolutely. So when clients come in for their medically assisted treatment,
I see.
Extending into our residential program for substance use, they will have a room set up exactly like this. So they'll have their own space, obviously bed-wise. We do have a full bathroom and shower as well within each pod unit. So they have kind of the comforts while they're in here going through that medical treatment.
Gotcha. You know, just walk me through the big need you guys see here in Clayton County.
Yeah, for sure. You know, obviously the opioid epidemic is rampant and it's everywhere. Does not discriminate location to location, but Clayton County is definitely one of those spaces. And, you know, honestly, we had DeMonte Davis, the county commissioner, out here for our open house, and his words were, this is a healthcare desert, right? So there's very limited resources. And so we wanted to come in the community, be able to provide those resources for those who are struggling.
As to who are you guys going to be serving, right? The people that are going to be coming here inside.
Yeah, so majority of the clientele, you know, obviously, you know, we do work off insurance for the most part, so utilizing insurance benefits. We do have some scholarship opportunities as well as self-pay rates, but really want to, you know, keep that in this community as much as possible, but obviously stretching outside the state of Georgia and, you know, the outer areas of greater Atlanta.
Yes, and when we talk about, you know, the difference between inpatient, outpatient, how does inpatient help someone get into the long-term recovery after years of addiction?
Yeah, sure. So got to start somewhere for sure. And so getting in the door, obviously if there are, you know, substances that need that medical component, medication assisted detox and things like that, we want to make sure we can provide that for them here. 24/7 care, nursing staff, nurse practitioners, medical director as well, making sure that we can get them the medications they need to comfortably detox, as well as extending into that residential program.
Gotcha. And then just last question for someone who wants to learn more, how can they?
Yeah, so www.sambarecovery.com, as well as our admissions line, 770-275-2255.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Andy.
Absolutely.
I really
Thank
appreciate it.
Yep.
So this center just opened to the public on Monday, and they actually took in their first patient just yesterday. So it's already serving people and impacting lives here in Clayton County.
Maria, thank you so much for bringing this to our attention. I know a lot of families watching this may know someone or need care like this. So awesome these resources are opening in another part of the North Georgia area. Maria, thank you so much for joining us live, letting us know how to get involved. We will see you again here upcoming at 3 o'clock. But you guys, we still have some things to get to here at 2. Coming up next, we're going to give you a sneak peek of the pitch that has just been laid at Atlanta Stadium, formerly Mercedes-Benz, for the FIFA World Cup. We're also going to check in with our Eli Jordan on MomoCon, which is expected to bring over $43 million here to the Metro Atlanta area. Welcome in, everyone. I'm Ariel Onstadt. It is great to have you here. Love to get you out to Atlanta Stadium, formerly Mercedes-Benz. You know, it's Atlanta Stadium for the FIFA World Cup here in 2026. Our Chris Rosenthal joins us live. And Chris, I understand you got to do a lot of things there at the stadium today. But first off, you got a sneak peek of the pitch.
Yeah, I got a sneak peek of the pitch. They brought media in for the first time, getting a first look of the pitch. It took them about 4 days to install it. The grass and the sod came all the way from Colorado, but it took 4 days to install it. It was finally started last Friday. It was installed here on Monday. You're probably wondering what kind of grass. Maybe you want to figure out what kind of grass to put in your own yard. It's a mix of Kentucky blue and rye grass, but there's also some artificial fibers mixed in there as well. It's really interesting to see. They were actually watering it. They had to install a whole new irrigation system. You know, you may have been to a Atlanta United game, or you may have been to a Falcons game, but this is a completely different turf, a completely different field, or pitch, as we say in soccer. Completely different one there that they had to install from scratch. They're using grow lights. They're testing it every single day. But I got to also talk with Stuart Wilson. He has been with FIFA for 5 years and has a lot of experience with pitches. He's the manager there. And talk a little bit more about what it takes to put this in. Let's take a listen.
So it's a full system now compared to what we were talking about there for the lay and play. You know, last year for the Club World Cup we were using cannons as irrigation, and it's not easy, I can assure you, and it's just consistency. What you see there now is a completely professional system. So underneath we've got full drainage system, we've got gravel raft, we've got, you know, so it's really top stuff that's out there. So it's yeah, with sub-air system in there too, so we can actually draw moisture down. We can push air up into the actual playing surface as well. So it just helps with rooting and just drawing moisture down. Yeah.
But for the players, what's the experience going to be like on this field?
It'll be a real top quality playing surface, yeah, undoubtedly. So it has to be for this tournament. You know, we're going to have the best players in the world playing here. So and we're going to a semi-final. So, but I'm very confident this playing surface will be excellent for this tournament. Yeah.
Yeah, and you may be wondering too if they're going to open up the big roof here. They actually won't be. It is very climate controlled, and they want to make sure it stays that way. They've even brought in generators just in case there's power outages, just to make sure that the climate stays perfect for that grass. Now, another element of this that we got to see here in preparation is, you know, you may have been to a sporting event. They're loud. They can be noisy. There's a lot of music. It's a lot for people. It can be a bit of a sensory overload. There are people with sensory needs. About 1 in 4 people have sensory needs. So they're going to actually accommodate all 16 locations across the country. FIFA's teamed up with Hisense and a nonprofit called Culture City, and they have sensory rooms, one a mobile one outside and one inside, where people can go. They can sort of get away from the noise, be calmed by the noise. This is great for people with autism. There's one father here today. He has a son with autism, and he's very, very grateful for this accommodation that they're having. There will also be bags with fidget spinners and with glasses to help protect with strobe lights and some headphones. So really trying to accommodate and be inclusive of all people who are coming to the game, and that's all for free.
Wow!
At all the games, there will be volunteers here to help guide people and administer these various initiatives there, the opportunities that people can take advantage of. They just need to get away from some of that stimulation.
Yeah, Chris, I was looking ahead to see where I was going. But Chris, this is incredible because it's for the first time in tournament history that FIFA is going to have these sensory-friendly spaces. So how wonderful that our FIFA, our World Cup this year in 2026 is going to get to have this. And also I have to just point out before I let you go, Chris, incredible Atlanta Stadium pitch venue manager for FIFA 26. That's a mouthful of a title. And just understanding what goes into creating the pitch, the idea that I would have guessed maybe some ryegrass given how green it is, but the fact that there's also some artificial fibers as well, incredible science that goes into that. So Chris, thank you so much. I appreciate you, and we'll see you again here upcoming at 3 o'clock. But as I just mentioned his name, Eli Jordan is where we are headed next. MomoCon is bringing anime, cosplay, and a lot of fun items here to Atlanta, as it always does every year. And this year is expected to bring $43 million in economic value over the Memorial Day weekend. So, Eli, it is great to see you. Looks like you got a pretty fun assignment going on there.
Hey, it's not too bad, and this is a homegrown assignment. This started 21 years ago with two Georgia Tech guys. They had like 700 people, a little over 700, not even maybe. And here we are, 21 years later, $43 million, like you mentioned, a million square feet. And they're expecting over 60,000 people. And right now, I mean, you can find all sorts of stuff. You can find comics, you can find anime, you can find games. I mean, this is a gaming paradise out here. But right now, I am on Artist Alley for the comics, and I am here with Greg Burnham. Greg Burnham, I was walking by, and I noticed, I'm from Alabama, and I saw the Tuskegee Airs, and I'm like, that looks familiar. I got to talk to these guys. They know about the Tuskegee Airmen and stuff. So you and Marcus Williams over here. Hey, Marcus, you guys created that, correct?
Yes, sir. About almost 10 years ago, I guess, when we started developing the concept. And so, yeah, we got 4 issues. We're almost done with issue 5. We're really trying to have it for this weekend, but we can't like just rush the process.
But this isn't the only thing you guys are involved in. I mean, you guys, are all in all sorts of stuff.
Oh,
right?
yeah. So like I write for DC Comics sometimes. He's done stuff for Marvel, Massive. He has his own series, I Lie Popeye, which is pretty great. And yeah, lots of indie published books. Little Rock Files, Noir is the New Black. We actually just got nominated for an Eisner Award, which is the coolest thing that could happen.
It's like the Oscar for comics?
Yeah, it's pretty great.
An Eisner Award, okay. And so you guys are out here at MomoCon. You guys done MomoCon before?
Oh, absolutely. I want to say this is like the 13th year. It's part of our schedule. Like we'll never miss MomoCon unless they tell us we're not allowed.
So I guess you guys have seen it grow.
Oh, absolutely. Not just in so size-wise, yes, but the con just keeps getting more efficient. It's a great convention. It's one of those that you feel cool with bringing your family to. So yeah, it's great, but it's grown immensely.
I got to ask you, what's it like to come up with a story, to write it, to draw it, print it out, and just have it tangible in your hand and create something that that you just totally loved as a kid too?
Addictive, I think. It's a lot of work. A lot of work goes into making the comics, but it's just the feeling that you get once it's finished, and then when people actually love it and want to keep purchasing them and reading them and making it part of their lives, it's just over the top.
It feels like you might be living a bit of a dream somewhere.
A bit of a dream, I would say that. I think we stopped counting around 70 cosplayers, like people who just created uniforms from the story. Some of them created their own characters.
Oh, so you see some people.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You
absolutely.
see people dressed up here as some of your. That is totally awesome.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Living the dream, yes.
That is good. And look at that. I mean, there's your picture and your name up there too. Even though you guys set this up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so congratulations on having a booth here at MomoCon once again. Well over a decade of doing this, and also too, I mean, this is just really cool. I would find it cool to be able to publish, write, and draw comics, and then have people dress up as my characters and see them out at the convention. I mean,
Absolutely.
It's got to be. I'm proud. I'm actually happy for you and tickled for you.
And then take it a step further with him. Like he'll create different renditions of characters, like existing characters, and we've seen people create the cosplays for his fan fiction characters too. So it's pretty great.
That's really cool. Well, I appreciate you talking with me, Greg. Greg Burnham, Marcus Williams. This is their booth. Come see them. Tuskegee Airs. There's one of their creations, and just go on out, check it out. And there's a whole lot to do out here, Ariel. There's all sorts of stuff. You can shop and get all sorts of cool trinkets and whatnots, and it's more than just comic books. There's gaming going on. There's all sorts of stuff, and just come on out, check it out. It's going on all week. weekend. They have gaming. Let me tell you this real quick.
Okay.
They got gaming
Quick,
going on
Eli.
24/7. 24/7. You can come down here, get your pass 24/7, play games, and then hang out here during the regular hours. Go to momocon.com.
Awesome. Eli Jordan, thanks so much for showing us around. We'll see you again here upcoming at 3. But you guys, like I mentioned, Tom Haynes is on his way with 3 o'clock news is about to begin. One of the biggest stories we're following, a news conference from Atlanta police on an increased reward in a significant shooting that is expected. Stay tuned.
Good afternoon. The news continues live here on Fox Local. Thanks so much for joining us for the 3 p.m. streaming hour. I'm Tom Haynes with you live in the Fox 5 Atlanta newsroom on a lot of information that's happening now that we want to get you caught up on. First and foremost, the Atlanta Police Department expected with a big news conference at 3:30 this afternoon to increase the reward in that horrific 404-day shooting here in Atlanta in Piedmont Park, preparing to announce a significant boost in that cash reward for information leading to an arrest in the Piedmont Park shooting. Investigators hoping the extra money will incentivize witnesses to finally come forward with the critical clues needed to solve the April 4th crime. That press conference set to begin at about 3:30 again this afternoon at Atlanta Public Safety headquarters to make that announcement and to fill us in on any new details that they might have in that case. Reporters, photographers there assembled, and of course, you will see it live here on the 3 p.m. streaming hour. Also in the news here at 3 o'clock, more disturbing allegations surfacing today against a former Douglas County High School teacher already accused of having sex with a student. Newly released warrants reveal Maris Nichols now facing yet additional charges involving a total of 6 teenagers. Let's get out to our reporter, Kevin Stewart, who's covering this story live for us in Douglas County this afternoon. What are investigators saying about these new charges, Kevin?
Well, right now we're at the Douglas County Jail where Maris Nichols had a $74,000 bond on these latest charges, but she's already made that bond. She was arrested, like you noted, 2 weeks ago for child molestation involving her students at Alexander High School. She got a $40,000 bond and got out of there. I want to give you a good look at her. She's 25 years old, Maris Nichols. She was a biology teacher and a football staffer with the Alexander High School Cougars. We understand at least 2 of the victims, of those 6, are student athletes. One of the latest victims allegedly had sex with Nichols in the truck at the St. Andrews Golf Course community. Now, the former teacher, a 25-year-old, is alleged to have sent pictures and videos to teen boys and a girl under the age of 16, including one of her and her husband in the shower, which has a lot of people stunned in this community.
So having inappropriate relationships with kids, I mean, if it actually happened, then they should throw the book at them. I mean, especially young kids. I mean, it doesn't make any sense for an older person to take advantage of a young child like that.
Yeah, these are, some were under 17, others were under 16.
Okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, their frontal lobes haven't fully developed. And when you talk about teenagers, they're not innocent in it by no means, because teenagers are going to do what teenagers want to do. But as an adult, you have to be the one that says, hey, this is the wrong thing to do.
Yeah, and that's what has so many people upset, that kids, they're going to be kids. But adults are supposed to know better, and that's what has a lot of people just really stunned. Again, 6 total alleged victims at this time. When we reported last week, 2 weeks ago, I should say, we were told by the sheriff's office that it was an ongoing investigation. Lots of rumors swirling in the community that there was a videotape, a sex tape. It turns out that that is the evidence that has been presented that led to a warrant. That video of Nichols and her husband in a shower right now. Those are the only, she is the only person charged in this. Of course, this is a story we'll continue to follow. Tom?
It's really stunning, Kevin. It seems like the more we learn about this person involved in these alleged activities, the more that is unearthed. You got to wonder if police are expecting yet more information and more accusations to come out about this person.
Yeah, they're not talking today. You know, when we did the story 2 weeks ago, we were told flat out this was a ongoing investigation, and they would have more to say coming up. And now we do know that there were more charges, but so far we have not heard anything officially from any law enforcement sources today.
Still, some startling details for us this afternoon about this teacher accused in some very, very disturbing activities with students. Kevin, thanks. Also in the news here at 3 o'clock, a quiet lunch in DeKalb County turned into an absolute chaotic situation after police say that a woman was stabbed in the back while eating outside of a popular Decatur restaurant. And here it is. It's the First Watch restaurant. Perhaps you've been there or heard of it. Happened Tuesday afternoon at the First Watch on Blackman Drive. Investigators say 22-year-old Walter Scrutchings walked up to the victim and plunged a knife into her back in what appears to be a random attack. Remember, there was just a stabbing on the Atlanta Beltline not too long ago, and yet another random attack. These two cases obviously not connected. But here you go, another victim seemingly unaware that this would happen to her, knifed in the back. The woman ran to a nearby business for help and is expected to recover, thank goodness. Scrutchings is now charged with aggravated assault as police search for a motive. A DeKalb County family is demanding answers this afternoon after they say a woman was shot and killed by an ex-boyfriend she'd repeatedly reported to police. Investigators say that 44-year-old Miranda Henderson was driving into her Stone Mountain neighborhood Sunday when Jaworski Rainey pulled up next to her and opened fire. Henderson's family says she feared for her life after the breakup and reported ongoing stalking and severe vandalism to law enforcement. But they claim she was denied a protective order because the couple never married or lived together. Rainey is now charged with murder, while the family grieves a loss they say could have been prevented based on her reports to police. Atlanta police searching for a shooter after 2 young men were gunned down early Thursday morning at a Northwest Atlanta apartment complex. Officers flooded the Flipper Temple apartments on Abner Terrace, blocking off the area for hours as they searched for clues. Investigators say both victims were rushed to Grady Memorial Hospital, one suffering from a graze wound, the other in critical condition with multiple gunshot wounds, we understand. So far, no arrests have been made, but detectives say that they are on the lookout for a vehicle spotted leaving that scene. We have some new information. Clayton County has a new weapon in the fight against the overdose crisis. Samba Recovery just opened in Jonesboro to tackle the area's urgent behavioral health needs. Fox 5 reporter Maria Guzman is live on the scene there. Maria, tell us a little bit more about this facility and how it's trying to help.
Direct area of Samba Recovery, and this center is an inpatient detox center. So how that works is, like, for example, if I have a loved one who is in active addiction and they're looking for help, they're able to come here and they'll stay here for a few weeks and get the help and care they need. So to tell us a little bit more about all the initiatives that are happening here, I have here Andy Williams, who is with Samba Recovery. So Andy, just thank you so much for chatting with us today.
Absolutely. Thank you.
We are in a basketball court / pickleball court. So why have a resource like this in a detox center?
Yeah, I mean, I think a couple reasons really, but one, we do rec therapy. So while clients are here, they have the opportunity to have a little bit of exercise and/or outlet while they're going through their medical detox, or at least more on the residential side of things. So they do have this space to come out and have some recreation time as well.
And let's go ahead and talk about the need you guys see in Clayton County, and specifically regarding addiction.
Yeah, I mean, again, the population, it's an epidemic everywhere. And so we really wanted to plant here in the southern part of Atlanta and Clayton County and really have the opportunity to serve this population in the community with their needs.
Who are you guys are going to serve here in Clayton County?
Yeah, I mean, across the board, anybody who's in need. But one of our niches is going to be for individuals who are pregnant. So we are going to be able to serve that, underserved population. And so that's going to be something that we really want to work towards in helping them.
Yeah, and you guys have other areas like this across the state, but why bring this to Atlanta?
Yeah, so I mean, we do have, as you mentioned, some other facilities, Norcross, Savannah, as well as now here in Jonesboro, and it's a need. The Metro Atlanta area is struggling, as well as the whole state of Georgia and really the country. So we really wanted to plant ourselves in the mecca of it, at least down here, and have that capability to do so here.
And let's go ahead and talk about inpatient versus outpatient. This is an inpatient care. So how does that help someone in addiction?
Yeah, so, being inpatient, they have 24 medical care, especially going through that detox process, medications that they need to, kind of curb the withdrawals and make sure that they're safely, seen by physicians and or nursing staff throughout their stay. And then transitioning over into the residential care where they can kind of have that stability and or foundation to continue on to the next step.
For anyone who wants to learn more about Samba Recovery, or if they have a loved one, how can they learn more?
Yeah, absolutely. Contact us, website sambarecovery.com. Our direct admissions line, 770-275-2255.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Andy.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And they just opened this center up to the public on Monday, and they actually took in their first patient just yesterday. So they're already impacting and making a change right here in Clayton County. Tom.
That's so great, Maria, for a safe space for people to go if they find themselves in those types of situations. Can anyone qualify to get in there, or are there certain requirements that you have to meet in terms of how to pay for their service and be welcome in a place like that?
Yeah, so it all depends on the insurance, obviously. So that's something that a patient can go ahead and talk between Samba Recovery and the type of insurance they have. But they do welcome anyone. It's just a matter of having those early conversations.
Right, so you don't have to particularly live in Clayton County or be in the area. People can come from all over to seek treatment there, correct?
Correct. Yeah. So they're going to be serving even outside of Clayton County. It's just based here, and they're serving a big need here.
I can tell it's kind of brand new behind you. Is it up and running? Is it open for business?
It is up and running. They officially opened this past Monday. They had a ribbon cutting event, and then on, I believe yesterday, they took in their first patient who is here. So everything is very new, and they're starting to welcome in some more people.
What a great resource to showcase for us this afternoon. Maria Guzman, live for us in Clayton County this afternoon. Maria, thanks so much. As we continue, I want to focus on some national stories now, and President Trump facing a major legislative test as he pushes Capitol Hill for billions of dollars in funding. The Senate opened debate on Thursday on a bill focused on border and ICE funding. But infighting among Republicans is threatening to stall it. A growing number of GOP senators are pushing back against a $1 billion proposal for a White House ballroom and an expensive anti-weaponization fund. With House Republicans still strongly supporting the measure, Democrats are hoping the internal division among Republicans will give them momentum headed into the midterm elections. President Trump's $1.8 billion anti-weaponization fund that we just talked about facing a brand new legal challenge. 2 police officers who defended the Capitol on January 6th are suing the Justice Department, aiming to block the creation of what Democrats call a political slush fund. The DOJ says the money is reserved for those who suffered so-called lawfare, but critics fear payouts will go to January 6 rioters and Trump allies. Connecticut Senator Chris Murphy warned that the funds set a dangerous precedent for how federal money is spent. President Trump will not receive money from that fund.
I mean, we've gotten to the point where Donald Trump is just stealing in broad daylight from the American people. What he's proposing to do, what he's going to do, is he is going to take $1.7 trillion of taxpayer money, and he's going to dispense that money to anyone he wants to compel political loyalty, to be able to gain favors for himself and his family.
Mr. Vice President, thank you. I want to ask you about that $1.8 billion fund set up, weaponization fund as it's being called. Why should taxpayers be paying to settle a $10 billion lawsuit that was brought by the President of the United States? And should people that attacked the Capitol building and assaulted police officers, should they be eligible? Should they receive money? Should they receive money from this fund?
Well, let me say a couple things about that. First, John, I think in some ways the media has misrepresented what this is actually about. This is about compensating Americans for the lawfare that we saw under the last administration. And by the way, anybody can apply for it. Republicans can apply for it. Democrats can apply for it. As you know, the President of the United States has pardoned a number of Democrats who he felt were actually subject to this lawfare. I mean, if Hunter Biden wants to apply for this particular fund, he is welcome to. It's going to go through a normal process where we vet everything, where we try to identify whether people's claims are actually legitimate. But here's the question. You say, why should taxpayers fund this? Whenever the United States government incurs legal expenses, it pays out those legal expenses. When it's settling a lawsuit, it pays out money to settle that lawsuit. And the question is a dollar of this money going to the Trump administration? No. Is a dollar of this money going to Donald Trump personally? No. Is a dollar of this money going to Donald Trump's family? No. The people that would get the money are people, some of whom have been prosecuted completely disproportionate to any crime they've ever committed.
All right, that J.D. Vance talking about the Justice Department not elaborating on who may be eligible to receive payouts from the fund, but several convicted January 6 rioters have pending suits who may be the benefactors of this money. The United States and Iran continue to work to a negotiated settlement, but President Trump says that he must get the right answers from these talks to avoid returning to war. Iranian leaders honor 2 former foreign ministers Wednesday, one of whom was killed in Operation Epic Fury. The regime is now trying to keep the war from reigniting after President Trump warned U.S. forces are standing by for his order. Reportedly, Qatar, Pakistan, and other regional allies are refining the peace proposal to bridge any remaining gaps between the two sides, one of which is Iran's stockpile of enriched uranium. The U.S. wants it out of the country, but Reuters reports Iran's supreme leader is demanding it stays. The White House says no determination's been made either way. Pakistan continues to play a critical role in mediating peace talks. Its interior minister met with the Iranians yesterday, and the army chief is expected to arrive in Tehran today to continue those discussions. The president said nothing is more important than keeping Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon.
Now we're negotiating, and we'll see. But either we're going to get it one way or the other. They're not going to have a nuclear weapon. You know, when people hear it, because oftentimes they won't put up the second part of the sentence having to do with, I'll say, this is more important than anything that we have to talk about. And usually they'll cut it off, the fake news. I said, because this is the nuclearization of a country that some people would say is somewhat crazy, and we cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. That's all it is. We can't let it. You will have a nuclear war in the Middle East, and that war will come here. That war will go to Europe. We cannot let that happen, and it won't happen. It's not going to happen. That's more important than anything else. We can't I can think of nothing that's more important than the fact that we cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon, and we won't. Yeah, Jeff?
The president made those remarks while holding an announcement with the Environmental Protection Agency, the Trump administration halting Biden-era refrigerant rules in a push to ease costs for Americans. So a change in that regulation on the heels of comments that he made about Iran. A U.S. doctor exposed to Ebola in Uganda has been airlifted to Eastern Europe following a middle-of-the-night medical evacuation. The Czech health ministry confirms the American doctor arrived at a Prague airport just before midnight last night at the request of the U.S. Embassy. Ambulances and medical crews in full personal protective gear escorted the doctor straight to an isolation ward at a university hospital. Officials say the doctor is not currently showing any symptoms of the virus, but will remain in isolation for 3 weeks as a precaution, adding there is no risk to the public. When we continue here on this busy Thursday afternoon of news, we're going to check in with meteorologist Greg Majeski to take a look at our forecast. Rain's been falling in a good part of the metro Atlanta area and North Georgia, for that matter. Cloudy skies out there. Greg's going to tell us if this will last for the remainder of our work week as we continue. Welcome back to the 3 p.m. streaming hour. We are live inside the Fox 5 Atlanta newsroom, joined by meteorologist Greg Majeski to talk about our weather. Greg, you know, we've kind of had rain in certain areas anyway, all afternoon long. It's warm out there. Kind of feels like we're starting the summertime pattern.
It is, and that can be a very good thing if we're going to get this kind of pattern set up, because the new drought index came out today. It's once again still looking very bad, very severe, but this kind of weather pattern could definitely start chipping that away.
Okay, good.
All right, but it's also the type of weather pattern where some folks get the rain and some folks don't. It's like, I didn't get a drop in my yard yesterday, so I had some folks complaining about it yesterday. So it's like, I promise you got a high rain chance right into next week. Eventually everybody's going to get a chance of rain. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is where we're going to see it right now. It's up on the north side here, where we had some showers that moved through here. Had it briefly fall right over to the Fox 5 studios here this afternoon, but a lot of this is up here on the north side. So heading into Bartow County, Forsyth County, it's a good storm there overcoming, and coming up towards Sugar Hill, Lawrenceville. That's kind of weakened a little bit, but moving up toward the northeast. So folks going home this afternoon, we're going to have some wet roads to traverse, going up 85, 400, maybe parts of 75 as well. And we'll see if we get some additional activity form later this afternoon. Now, what's causing, we do have an old stationary boundary that's going to kind of wash itself out in here. We've got a good southerly flow. The air mass is very tropical. It's very juicy. When we say that in weather lingo terms, it means it's very light, very buoyant. So it doesn't take a whole lot to bubble up a shower or thunderstorm, especially for those late day showers and thunderstorms. So when you see the high rain chances, folks, that doesn't mean it's going to rain all day. That's not what it means. It means you got a high probability of seeing some rain at some point during the afternoon or at the nighttime period. And of course, predominantly this means, after 2 o'clock going until, 10 o'clock. That seems to be the prime hours when we have the daytime heating. And what we're seeing here on the Barron model is just a wet pattern here, very wet and rainy here, going in throughout Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And the rain chances are going to stay up even going into Monday, as these little weaknesses, impulses keep flowing in from the southwest to northeast and just keeping us on the wet side. And one update here on the rainfall outlook here over the next 5 days that is updated from earlier is the fact that now we've got a little more of North Georgia here showing up here, showing upwards of 4 to 5 inches of rain now showing up here over the next 5 days. And in light of what we've seen just from the rain yesterday, I mean, getting 3 inches of rain in like a little over an hour is ridiculous, but that's what we had in downtown Atlanta. We had that flooding problem downtown. Is when you got an air mass that's this juicy and what we call precipitable waters running extremely high, you can get some pretty good gully washers. It's just a question of how fast are the storms moving. If they're moving really slow, like 5-10 miles an hour, that kind of thing, you can get some localized flooding. And that will be something that we will have to watch throughout the entire weekend, is that we may get some pretty good storms that could dump some of it. We're not expecting any widespread severe weather. We've already had a couple of special weather statement storms even just today. That's like winds of 40 miles per hour, heavy rain, small hail, that kind of thing, not quite severe. So the rain chances are going to stay up here, folks, straight through the week ahead. So into the weekend and into early next week. So very high rain chances. So we're going to be really chipping away at the storm threat. Now, the big thing is, folks, with these thunderstorms, if you're at the lake, if you're at the pool, if you're like that, if you get lightning and thunder in your area, get out of the water, please. Don't be safe out there, and don't let it be a problem, or don't become a statistic, as we say. Now, these overnight low temperatures, I'm showing you here for tonight. Take this forecast for tonight for overnight lows, and you can just cut and paste it straight for the next 5 days, because it ain't changing. It's pretty much the same for every day. I mean, it really is settling in like a midsummer pattern here. And these daytime highs we're going to have for tomorrow, also the same. You can pretty much cut and paste this for the next 5 days, as it's just not going to change here with the forecast. So it looks like maybe toward the middle of the end of next week, you went back off a little bit. But again, the good news story here is that we got a high degree of rain risk here over the next, I think we're going to finish off the month on the wet side, and we're going to be able to really help the farmers out. We've been trying to get the crops have been struggling with this drought conditions. The lakes, which are down significantly, like Lake Lanier, I know Eric's up there, and it's down 5 1/3 feet. Last year it was at full pool, but this year it's down 5 feet. So area lakes are going to get a chance to recharge. But this is the type of weather pattern that you need to have in place if you want to beat back a potential drought. And El Nino, I think, will have a factor to play in that.
So we're kind of stuck in this overcast, cloudy, warm, humid weather, which is going to lend itself to more rain coming through the area. What'd you say, over the next 5 days?
Yeah, even beyond that, really. I mean, the next 7 days are pretty high. And the long range, it just, to me, I was looking at the European model that just came in like the last hour, and it's just pretty much shows air mass thunderstorms pretty much every day straight into early June. No change.
So yesterday, and I'm going to have you stick around and watch this video with me so you can talk about it as well. We had a situation break out on the downtown connector, which resulted in this, all right?
Yeah.
This happened at about between 4 and 6 o'clock last night.
Yep.
When I guess a huge, massive amount of rain fell in a very short period of time.
Over 3 inches in just over an hour. It was that's a lot, and a lot of the because we haven't had a lot of rain, a lot of debris, a lot of stuff has just been, building up on these interstates. So a lot of the
drains were clogged.
The drains were clogged. Yeah, it was. And nobody had that forecast. I mean, we had thunderstorms in the forecast for yesterday, but you can't forecast. Okay, we're gonna have this one thunderstorm that's gonna dump 3 inches of rain in 1 hour. Now we're not that good.
So, but this was really extraordinary. It was happening before our eyes. Of course, we were streaming it right here on Fox Local.
Yep.
And talking about it on the broadcast channel on Fox 5 Atlantic, because we were on the air doing the 5 o'clock news, and just watched as people became stranded in that water. The guy in the white car you see there, he was forced to get out of his car, go up on his roof, and be rescued to be brought up onto dry ground.
I was watching that storm, and when I was checking the rainfall amounts, I mean, when I first saw it, I was like, "Oh, this can't be right. This is gonna be wrong." I mean, it just seems so odd. But again, when you got an atmosphere that is this primed right now, and you got a warm Gulf of America down there, and a lot of moisture coming up, and you're going to have these high thunderstorms that can dump a tremendous amount of rain. I think it's something we're going to see probably for a lot of the summer.
I think the extraordinary nature of what happened yesterday is you're talking about two interstates running through downtown Atlanta, 75 and 85, the evening commute, and then this happens where everybody not only gets stuck, some people get stranded in the middle of the water. We're talking about now what happened, all that debris clogging the drains out there.
And then you got to tow all these stranded cars because they won't start because they're all...
But I mean, all right, so did we learn our lesson from what happened here and prevent this from happening again?
I think
we got FIFA World Cup running in here.
I'm going to go on a limb here. I'm going to say that the city of Atlanta is going to keep a very watchful eye on all those drains in the DOT, at least until FIFA's out here. They're going to make sure that those drains do not get, I'm sure they've been working those all day today, last night, and they're going to keep those drains from stopping up like that again.
All right, listen, did you say we have sound of the person who, okay, let's listen to some sound from some of the folks who are associated with being stranded out on that roadway yesterday.
I got it. Hey, you need some help? Damn. That's crazy.
Sweetheart! You wanna go help her, baby?
I mean, what you want me to do? Get out, walk across the street and go and put it on my back?
Yep. You a veteran?
Yeah, I'm a veteran.
Go help her. You stuck?
Yeah, right.
Go help her.
Sweetie!
She might got kids in the car.
You need some help?
Go help her, baby.
Okay. I don't know, baby. That don't make sense, baby.
All you gotta do is walk her over here. It's not that deep. She probably don't know how to swim or something. Just walk her over here. I'll get you some more shoes. You got some in your pocket? Another one just got stuck. Number two just got stuck.
Incredible video of that rescue. The man, one of the lighter parts of that video, besides the poor woman stuck on her white car getting rescued. And didn't you love how before she got on his back, she kind of checked her car to see if she was leaving anything behind? But the wife of that guy who went out there, braved those waters on the freeway, egging him on. All right, don't worry about it. I'll get you new shoes. Come on, get out there. The water's only this deep. Just a crazy, crazy sequence of circumstances out there in the downtown connector. We were glad to show you that video as it happened yesterday afternoon. Wow. Let's talk about more weather conditions. This time, the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration coming out with its prediction about the upcoming hurricane season. They're predicting storms that are undoubtedly going to affect our weather here in the United States. Starting June 1st, the good news here is that they're predicting a below-level Atlanta hurricane season, thanks to, in large part, to strong El Nino weather patterns, something Greg was just talking about a second ago. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration releasing its tropical outlook today. NOAA predicting 8 to 14 named storms, 3 to 6 hurricanes, and 1 to 2 major hurricanes. An average season typically sees 14 named storms. While warmer ocean temperatures could fuel storm development, El Nino conditions generally create wind shear that tears storms apart. So the Fox 5 Storm Team will, of course, be tracking the tropics with you all hurricane season long. I want to take you to some live pictures. We're waiting for a news conference to start on Net 21, if you will. This is the news conference that we were talking about at the top of the stream here, where Atlanta police are going to announce a major increase in the reward that they're offering for any information that can lead them to the shooting suspect on that horrific night in Piedmont Park during 404 day festivities over that weekend, in which one person was murdered by gunfire. They want to find their suspect. So police tell us right now, this was supposed to happen at about 3:30 this afternoon, that they're waiting for family members to arrive before they begin that news conference. And of course, as soon as it happens, we're going to take you there to get more information, not only on the case, but the increase in the reward that they're offering for any information that leads to the arrest and conviction of their suspect. We'll be right back. Want to interrupt programming here to, as promised, bring you to that news conference from Atlanta police announcing the increase in the reward after that 404-day shooting in Piedmont Park. Let's listen in.
To help us identify certain people of interest that you'll see shortly, these particular individuals are involved in the horrific incident that happened April 4th in Piedmont Park that took the life of Tiana Robinson. We had great success before, and I know that the public will certainly help us again with identifying these particular individuals of interest. But today, I'm going to bring up Captain Dearlove and let him give you an overview of the incident.
Thank you. Thank you, Chief. So background on this case. This incident occurred on April 4th at Piedmont Park. Our victim is Ms. Tiana Robinson, who is 16 years old. Ms. Robinson was at Piedmont Park that evening with friends where a altercation occurred, and it culminated in a shooting incident. Ms. Robinson was struck in that incident. Ms. Robinson was an unintended victim that night. This is an active homicide investigation. Our homicide unit is diligently and actively pursuing individuals involved in this incident. As we stated before, we've released Crime Stop operatives, which has been successful. We're here today again to solicit assistance from the public with us for this investigation. In addition, we're announcing that we're going to increase the Crime Stopper reward to $25,000 for persons of interest.
Investigator Malone, who's our lead investigator, will provide background on this footage and bolo description.
Good evening. It's Detective Malone. There's going to be a video that is going to be observed, as well as an image of an individual that is seen immediately leaving Piedmont Park and seen possessing a firearm just after the fatal shooting. He's accompanied with 2 other individuals throughout the park, as well as once they leave the location. So the request is, if anyone possibly has identification of any of the individuals, if they could reach out to our homicide unit for the identification purposes. And these are the individuals in question at this time that I'm making efforts to identify, who's seen leaving with a gun. And with that, I'll turn it back over.
And now we're going to introduce you to the family of Miss Tiana Robinson.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Terrell Robinson, the father of Tiana Robinson, and I just want someone to speak up about what happened at Piedmont Park on 4-4. Please, we can't let this murder just go away as another unsolved case. We have to solve this case, not just for my family, but for the whole city. This touched a lot of people. I'm getting messages and phone calls from everybody hearing about it. And Tiana was, she's a very loved person all over. So please, if you know something, please say something. We have to solve this. We need your help. Thanks.
My name is Tanisha Watkins. I'm the mother of Tiana. I want justice, because if it was somebody else's child, niece, cousin, or whatever, y'all would want the same thing. I want justice. We can't sleep. My oldest daughter just graduated. She didn't even want to watch the stage because our sister wasn't there. We just asking for someone to speak up.
Hi, my name is Nia. I'm her cousin. A lot of people were at that park that day, and I know a lot of people may have seen what happened. As you can see, this has really affected my family. We're so hurt by this, and there's not a day that goes by that we don't think about her. I wouldn't wish this on anyone. This is the worst pain that I've ever felt in my life. So I'm just pleading with the public, the city of Atlanta, anyone on the outskirts that's seen anything or know these individuals, please say something so we can get justice. It's hard to sleep, it's hard to eat, it's hard to do regular things because we know that her murder is unsolved. So if you know anything, please help us. Please say something. It's okay to say something. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So again, we'd like to urge the public to call Crime Stoppers. The number is 404-577-TIPS. Again, 404-577-TIPS if you have any information on the particular individual, persons of interest that you saw in that video.
We'll now have questions. We'll start with A.M.
What do you guys have to say about the public out there, the people that are worried that these guys are still out there to begin with? I mean, to see this person with the gun, it seems like there's no regard at this point for even life or anything like that.
So what we have to say to the public is this. Simply, we need the public's help. Of course, we know that guns are legal, but when they get into the hands of those individuals who mean to cause harm to other people, something has to be done about it. And certainly we want to solicit the assistance of the public. Now, again, the department is doing everything in our power that we can to solve this particular crime, as a reason why we're here today.
I'm Nancy Deidre, Fox 5. Initially, in the initial days following the shooting, you all released images of 3 individuals, persons of interest. Are you still looking for those 3 individuals, and the individual that you featured here today, is he one of the 3, or is this a 4th individual?
It is not the same individual. There was success, as mentioned earlier, of the initial release. This is an additional individual observed during the course of the investigation, and that is, as stated, in addition to the initial release.
So you're now looking for 4?
This is an additional person. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
January 11th.
Obviously, a lot of time, a decent amount of time has passed since the shooting has happened. We believe what contributing factors makes it so hard to track and identify these individuals, especially the fact that there is now another person that you guys believe is involved in this case?
Public outcry is the biggest because the public was there for significant periods of time. They were present at the time of the gunshots being fired, as well as present after the gunshots were fired. And that public outcry is a big issue in reference to being able to further assist in the investigation, as they have thus far already. So although time has passed, it's a horrific incident. I'm sure that the memories have not faded, and that's what we're asking for. People can recall that day and anything that they may have seen that proves to be relevant to the investigation.
Tom, do you have a question? No, thank you.
So this is the 4th person we're looking at. You could read the back of the shirt, something about cough syrup. Do you know what the front of his T-shirt says?
I don't recall the writing on the front of the T-shirt, but of course the writing on the back is significantly larger, and the writing is easily able to be read. So I'm not absolutely familiar with the front writing on the shirt.
We said Ms. Robinson was the unintended victim of the shooting. Do we know what prompted the shooting or who was shooting at who?
At this point, no, sir.
It involves some kind of confrontation between 2 groups of young people.
Without the identity of all individuals, then I don't think that I would be able to say that it's young people. Just identity of the individuals would have to be determined first prior to making such an assessment.
And was the victim item coverage for initially 2 attempts shot at one time?
One gunshot wound is accounted for.
Can I ask, what is your message to, because with so many individuals that you're searching for, so many people who were at the park that day, you have to believe that someone, possibly other friends or family members, do know these individuals who are involved. For whatever reason, they're not coming forward. What's your message to them?
I plead to those that have knowledge about the incident to dig deep, do the right thing, make the phone call, give the information that they are aware of regarding this incident.
And the Jazz Fest is coming up soon. Are you guys going to be increasing security up at Piedmont Park?
Jazz Fest is this weekend. I don't want to take away, of course, from the story that we're covering today, but yes, there is a very, very robust plan to have units in the parks on the Beltline. You'll see officers all over the city. So there's not one area that won't be uncovered. We recognize Memorial Day weekend is a large-scale event where a lot of people love to come to our city. And so, of course, safety is our #1 priority.
And we already have a statement related to the Memorial Day weekend and Jazz Fest. Let's push this story back to a life. Tiana Robinson, it's important to know that the Crime Stoppers reward has gone up by $10,000. It was last check, it was $15,000. It is now up to $25,000. If there are no other questions, any updates will come from the Public Affairs Unit. Thank you, CIE.
Atlanta police holding a news conference this afternoon offering an increase in the reward for information leading to the capture an arrest of the suspect or suspects involved in the murder of Tiana Robinson, caught in the crossfire, an innocent victim of what appeared to be a skirmish at Piedmont Park on the weekend of the 404-day festivities here in Atlanta. 16 years old. You heard an emotional appeal from Tiana's family about anyone who knows anything to come forward with information to help break this case. They are absolutely devastated and heartbroken. One of the family members who just graduated didn't even want to walk across the stage because she was so disappointed that her sister wasn't going to be there to watch her walk. That reward being increased from $15,000 to $25,000. Our Deidre Dukes, who was in that news conference, asked a very poignant question to police authorities. If so many people were out and about that night, certainly someone somewhere has some kind of information that can lead police to the person that they're looking for. And now we have clear imagery of exactly who that person or people might be. We saw one gentleman with what appeared to be a gun in his hand that police showed us. So a very, very compelling news conference from Atlanta police on the search for the suspects involved in the murder of Tiana Robinson during 404-day festivities, and the increase in the reward from $15,000 to $25,000 for any information leading to their arrests and convictions. All right, shifting gears here to a much lighter story, and that is FIFA World Cup coming here to Atlanta in less than a month. Our Chris Rosenthal is outside what will be known as Atlanta Stadium, but we all know it as the Benz, Chris, and a really cool look for the first time at the pitch inside where these players are going to be doing their thing.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a sneak peek look at the pitch. We only got about 20 minutes or so to take a look at it, and they were watering it. It's a whole new pitch. It's not the same one that you see when you go to an Atlanta United game or a Falcons game. They had to bring in a whole new pitch. The sod came in from Colorado, and they tested it in Tennessee. It took them about 4 days to install it, and it was finally done on Monday. So this is brand new. You may be wondering what kind of grass they've used. It's actually Kentucky blue and perennial rye, and they have also some artificial fibers that are kind of sewn in there as well. They really have to tailor that grass to this weather, to this climate. Also, one of my questions, I was wondering, are they going to open up the roof? And they're not. They can't open it. They want to keep it climate controlled. They have to keep this pitch looking great, looking green, looking perfect, and in great condition for the players. They have grow lights, they have irrigation system, everything that they need. Talk with Stuart Wilson. He is the in charge of this whole operation here, and he's been with FIFA for about 5 years. It's been around the world doing setting up pitches like this and maintaining them. So we talked a little bit more about what this takes. Let's take a listen.
So it's a full system now compared to what we were talking about there for the lay and play. We last year for the Club World Cup we were using cannons as irrigation, and it's not easy, I can assure you, and it's just consistency. What you see there now is a completely professional system. So underneath we've got full drainage system, we've got gravel raft, we've got so it's really top stuff that's out there. So it's with sub-air system in there too, so we can actually draw moisture down. We can push air up into the actual playing surface as well. So it just helps with rooting and just drawing moisture down. Yeah.
But for the players, what's the experience going to be like on this field?
It'll be a real top quality playing surface, yeah, undoubtedly. So it has to be for this tournament. We're going to have the best players in the world playing here. So and we're going to a semi-final. So but I'm very confident this playing surface will be excellent for this tournament. Yeah.
Yeah, very confident indeed. I think it has to be, right. All the world's going to be looking at this field, and the world's best players are going to be playing on it. Another thing that we got to take a look at too as well today, being in a stadium, when you come to a game like this, it can be noisy. Lots of music, lots of sound, a lot going on, a lot for the senses. About 1 in 4 people actually have some sort of a sensory need, and FIFA is teaming up with High Sense and a nonprofit called Culture City to help accommodate accommodate that, to help accommodate those fans, maybe autism or some other sensory need. They're going to have sensory rooms, one inside the stadium, and also we got to look at a mobile sensory room that's outside the stadium, a place people can go, sort of calms you down. There will be volunteers to help administer this and to help people with it. There will be bags also with some supplies that can help people cope with what may be an overwhelming sensory explosion for people. You know, some strobe glasses and some headphones and some other items. All of this free. All of this completely free. You don't have to, you know, sign up or prove that you may have some sort of a sensory need. But for just people that may have that need, I talked with the one father earlier today who has a son with autism, and he's very grateful for this. He's got tickets to the game, and this will hopefully allow them to go and enjoy it. So it's all about inclusion, making everybody who wants to come included and have a good time, and a good time getting to see soccer on that brand new, beautiful pitch out there behind me in Atlanta Stadium.
You know, no pressure on Stuart Wilson, the pitch venue manager, who's putting all that together. And this pitch, this field, has to last for, 8 games over the span of a month. So you're talking about keeping that field in pristine condition. I'd love for him to come over and look at my yard, you know, tell me what I'm doing wrong with my grass, because this is a masterful achievement on the part of the FIFA folks there to put this pitch together. We saw how they were doing it, Chris, out in Dallas, where they had the, I don't know if they were infrared lights or some kind of lighting that promoted the growth and nurturement of the grass. Do they have, you said they weren't opening the ceiling, do they have anything like that in there to kind of to nurture that field?
They do. They have grow lights. They're sort of purplish lights that they'll have lit up to help nurture the grass. They've got this sophisticated irrigation system in there. They even, you know, it's climate controlled. They want to keep it a certain temperature. They even have generators in case there's a power problem. They want to make sure that it all stays, all stays like that. And he says they're testing it every single day, making sure that everything is the way that it should be and that it needs to be for these players to play their best out there.
Just tell me, how cool it was to actually be in that stadium, a stadium that can hold upwards of 80,000 plus fans, to see that field and to know that the world is going to be descending on Atlanta, among many other cities in the United States, to watch these teams from around the world come and play to what will be an undoubtedly sold-out venue.
Yeah, I mean, it's really cool because, we got to see it. Me and, maybe a dozen or 2 dozen journalists got to see it. So we had the whole place to ourselves, one small section, but right there at field level, got to look at it. It's also really cool when you're in there because they already have some of the signage up that says, FIFA 2026. So you get to see, what that sort of branding looks like as well. So, it's not just the field. I mean, it's the whole experience there. So to be in it there, you get a little bit of goosebumps getting to see it, and it's pretty amazing to think. Very, very fortunate to be able to get to see this firsthand and bring it to you guys.
Yeah, it was a really, really cool inside look. It's crazy to think about it because they keep comparing what's going to happen with FIFA to the Olympics. I was here in 1996 during the Olympics, so I remember all the preparations and excitement surrounding our city. Those venues were kind of spread out all over really the metro Atlanta and into parts of North Georgia. This event is going to be happening in one central space. So being out there around the stadium, do you kind of see and feel a difference out there to be able to welcome all these tens and hundreds of thousands of fans who are going to stream into our city?
Well, I'll tell you, anybody who lives in Atlanta knows construction. There's always seems to be construction and new things being built, and just driving through here, and I drive around the city all the time. There's lots of new construction around the stadium. Lots of buildings going up. Lots of being built from hotels and restaurants and everything else. It almost looks different every week you drive through, not just the stadium, but around the stadium. And of course, Atlanta Stadium. You can see they've already put the signage up. FIFA FIFA World Cup 26. We are Atlanta. You know, it's all up there. So the area definitely being transformed and getting ready, and of course we'll see those changes even after FIFA's gone.
Yeah, that's one good result of having high-profile events like this in our city. Like the Olympics and FIFA, we all get big infrastructure improvements and things that will certainly last after this is all said and done. Chris Rosenthal with an unprecedented look inside that stadium in advance of the FIFA World Cup coming our way. Chris, thanks. And thank you for joining us here for a jam-packed 3 p.m. hour on Fox Local. I'm Tom Haines, live in the Fox 5 Atlanta newsroom. Don't go anywhere. The news continues right here, right now.
Fox 5 News at 4 starts right